Welcome, welcome to episode 3 of Dead is Better, an ongoing zombie survival horror simulation powered by the Savage Worlds rule set. I am your host and GM, I guess, is uh, Will Thompson. And with me tonight are our first batch of 4 survivors, who I am going to have introduce themselves, right? And then tell me, what is the thing you would miss most in the breakdown of society and of the world?
Oh
And
God.
Skibba, why don't we start with you tonight?
You advise you want to know what we miss the most about what?
Society, when everything breaks down, what you personally, right, assuming you survived the event, what you would miss the most about the world. So introduce yourself
Uh,
first.
I'm Mike Skibba. I'm deputy sheriff in Forsyth County. Um, God, what I'm going to miss the most: electricity, air conditioning,
Hey,
all
one.
those
Yeah,
niceties
yeah, you only
that.
you only get one there.
Oh my God, that's it.
Yeah, electricity. Yeah. I mean, certainly we wouldn't be doing this, and I'd be burning something right now, and normally just burning due to my location in Texas. But good answer, electricity. That's solid. Sean, how about you? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you would miss most about the world. You're muted,
Unmute
Sean.
yourself.
It's Graham Cracker Gate all over again. You're still muted, Sean. All right, Mary, why don't we work through you while Sean figures out
Okay.
her audio?
Oh geez, this is a loaded question because
Yeah.
there's a lot. God, I guess like elevators. That is a huge thing for me, having access to things
That's true. You're a ground
that are
level
electronic.
person in the
Yeah,
apocalypse, yeah.
and it takes while I can get upstairs if I really work at it, it takes a lot to like do that. It's not a
Right.
fast thing that it's one of those things that once it happens, like you're like, oh, this was never an issue. Now you have to come up with those
Right.
answers.
Right. What do you always just haul a big piece of plywood with you everywhere in the post-apocalypse, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. That is rough. Sean, you sorted out yet?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right. Excellent.
There we go. Cool. I'm Sean.
Thank you
Um,
so much
I
for the
think the
follow there,
thing that
Techno Wolf. You're a badass.
I
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
Got that.
think what I'd miss the most is just I'm gonna skip on this electricity. It's powers a lot of my life.
Right.
Like I'm a photographer, so I use my digital camera a lot, but well, I still use film. Digital is, I guess, part of my life as well. So not being able to charge things and just my laptop and stuff
Mm-hmm.
be really hard to get used to
Right.
even to have.
Bowser, a little about yourself and then what you would miss the most.
Uh, so I'm Mike, number 2, I guess. I am a defense contractor, which I work in a warehouse. Former Marine, and that's what gives me all my cool shooting stuff on this game. But no, father of 3, husband, beautiful man, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I miss the most, other than electricity, because that's a huge one, is more specifically the internet
Yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a large portion of my day on the internet. I
Agreed.
grew up without it, so I could do it, but it's like, you know, it's an integral part of life now.
Well, it has totally revolutionized the way I do research. I mean, people had to go to a library with the Dewey Decimal System and look up a card so they could flip through a book. I wouldn't know a goddamn thing about a goddamn thing if it wasn't for the internet, man. The ease of access, Wikipedia, YouTube, instructional videos, definitely. Definitely.
Right.
Now, I spent 10 years as a youth vagabond hitchhiking back and forth across the country and spending a lot of time sleeping outside without electricity, right? So I think I would probably be better acclimated to most. But I tell you the thing I would miss the most too is exactly that, having spent a long time without amenities. The thought of a return to a lack of amenities after I've acquired all this luxury and comfort, well, shit. I might just go, you know what, I'm just going to go to sleep and try not to wake up. Like, Jesus, again, all over again, right?
Right.
Didn't marry a doctor to live in a ditch again. I don't know. But with that stated, we're going to go over a little bit here. And if this is your first time tuning in or you are unfamiliar with the concept of the show, these four fine people are not playing characters. They are portraying themselves within this universe. They rolled based upon their own abilities and disabilities, their own strengths and weaknesses, right? We use Savage World to determine their skill set, so all of them on the table are representative, generally, of where they would be at real life in this situation. And the core conceit here is that I want to kill them all with zombies and then get new people in the survivors until we get a power team of super survivors and tell fantastical stories in the apocalypse. But to do that, I've got to separate a little bit of wheat from a little bit of chaff. So why don't we get started? Who would like to earn a Benny by giving me the recap? Don't everybody jump at once.
I'll give you a recap. So, like from the beginning, or just last episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're only
So-
two in.
So from the beginning, we, as a group, did not know each other to begin with. We earned or won a chance to go on this maiden cruise of the Pinnacle. It's this giant, technologically superior cruise ship, and we left out of Miami at 6 a.m. This would have been one day ago in game time, or we're at the evening of, or the early morning of that next day. But it was a scam. We had to go to the timeshare thing with Jeff and Cody. And Jeff and Cody were some crazy salesmen who wanted $1,500 for a timeshare that's beach adjacent. But that's neither here nor there. We did not buy that. We ended up going to dinner, and a gentleman named Billy Haynes, who was an oil man from Texas, he had what was apparently a heart attack in the middle of dinner. They took him to the infirmary. His wife went with him, and then as we went to return to our rooms at night, Skiba and I, at least, I don't remember if the other two were drunk, but we were pretty well on our way to being drunk.
Yeah.
And the wife came out with what appeared to be bite marks on her arm. We took her to security because she said that, everyone was dead in the infirmary. And when we got to security, well, let's just say that they weren't the most helpful bunch. And they wanted to take her back to the infirmary. She died. Eventually, we broke into security. The head of security, a gentleman named Romero? No, Captain Romero.
Kirkland.
Kirkman.
Kirkman.
George Kirkman.
Jason Kirkman.
So Kirkman comes up, finds us. He provided us with weapons.
We also broke into the security office.
Yeah, we smashed down the door of the security office. He provided us with weapons. I'm a little fuzzy on that section, but basically we went down to the infirmary to help him, Mike and I, and we got in a fight, which thankfully Kirkman won. Then we went back up to security, and the security guard who was there earlier had turned. So we got in a much more physical fight with him. I do remember kicking his head off, and then Kirkman shot it because it was not dead yet. And we then went to a conference room of some sort, where the captain and that's Captain Romero and that guy that I don't like.
Douchebag McGee.
Is it
Forsyth.
Mr.
Forsyth?
Forsyth. Pencil
Yes.
thin mustache.
So Forsyth is the owner of the ship. He comes in and basically tells us that we're not going to call for help, even though at this point there's
It's been proven.
10 people dead and the dead seem to come back to life. Captain Romero left. We're unsure if he's going to call the Coast Guard or not, but now we are with Kirkman. We've arrived on a floor that there was quite a commotion on. There were 4 of these, I'm going to call them husks. They're like people, but not really people. They were interacting with some guests of the cruise ship.
The
Sean-
terrible recap.
Sean ended up kicking one of them into some form of retardation, and Mary almost killed a guy who didn't
Yeah.
really do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's where we're at. I shot one in
follow
the
for
head.
more.
So, to put a little more narrative flair on it, remind me to never ask Bowser to do that again. My God. These
Hey, I
folks.
gave you the
No,
notes.
you gave me exactly. And then at 7:42 p.m. after dinner, we
Yep.
walked down a corridor that was kind of dark. I mean, all right, I get it. That's my bad. I should have known. I've
I'm-
taken that Benny back. No, I made
Hey,
you
you
do
cannot
it.
have
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you cannot have that Benny back.
So these folks found themselves accompanying George Kirkman here, who needs the accompaniment because of the crisis that was happening at the medical bay that happened to be on the same floor as their cabins, right? They had moved the corpses into the medical bay, trying to figure out a way to, get them all into their meager supplies for such things. I mean, at this point, they would need a walk-in freezer in the kitchen or something. It's a cruise ship, it doesn't have a full-on morgue. Right, when a commotion broke out in the makeshift morgue on account of these infected individuals rising from their graves. And the party found themselves in a conflict in the hallway against 3 of them, pushing their way through a crowd of dozens of people. Almost all of them, with the exception of the final zombie, has been incapacitated. But in the process, a panicked gentleman tried to shove his way into the elevator past Sean, who then shoved him into the ground and frantically kicked him into the face until he was well beyond unconscious. He's not going to remember his name, but that's fine, because everybody here is probably dead anyway. Another gentleman, wounded on the arm from a gash he received not from one of the infected, right, was nearly shot stone cold dead by Mary, who in her frightened state assumed that he was infected and was going to turn her. So he is still alive, very much cognizant of the attempted murder and a factor, right? As is the zombie in the hall, the infected individual in the hallway. So on that note, let's pull up this here map and get you guys back into the meat locker.
The one that the man that Mary almost killed for no apparent reason stole the
I have
elevator.
a reason.
He stole the elevator, right? The elevator's closed now.
No, that one lady who's a.
No,
what?
the other gal got through. No, he's still in the hallway currently. No, but
Okay.
you guys find yourselves in the corridor of the ship. And if I am not mistaken, when last we got together there, it sounded something like this. So you guys find yourselves in the corridor. Kirkman up front. You guys haven't fallen into a position. The undead person that was on Kirkman having just been slain. And we find ourselves, apparently, on the final Shambler's turn. And as such, it is going to advance and make an opposed strength roll against Kirkman to attempt to grapple him.
Come on, Kirkman. Come on.
Oh, he's probably going to be just fine on that roll. The infected are not renowned for their physical prowess. Oh, but they tied up. Seeing as he is the defender, they are locked, grappled with one another, but the infected individual is not going to be able to get a bite into him this turn. And Kirkman is going to attempt to shove him off, following immediately. Much better roll from Kirkman. Let's see what Living Dead Shambler does. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and excuse me, didn't mean to misgender the infected individual on our mini-map, is shoved off against the wall. And the next round transpires with Kirkman, with the Joker
that
bonus.
Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Now,
Kirkman.
Does the Benny rules still apply to the Joker in this?
That's true.
Not for NPCs, it don't.
Okay.
Next time.
Next time. But Kirkman, having just freshly shoved her off, is, and oh, my God, I can't believe we forgot to mention the fact that Kirkman shot a woman through the kidney in an attempt to save her and
Lord.
killed her. So let's all remember the psychological state that he finds himself in, right? We all missed that point. It was, if you watched last week's episode, it was not a good moment for anybody.
I had to push it out of my brain. And
Right?
I don't blame him.
think
Right.
it didn't
He
happen.
did what he had to do.
Right. Well, apparently, Six Gun Mary. But
That's my name.
he is going to point his 9mm at her head and let loose there, tagging her squarely between the eyes and dealing an infinite amount of damage that splatters her gray matter against the wall behind her, and she collapses in a heap. Now officially dead.
So this hallway is just like covered in blood and gore at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's a abattoir for sure. There are corpses everywhere. A couple of people are still in the act of dying, you know.
Am I gonna need new
Was
sneakers?
there, was there
No.
one that got bitten to death?
Yes,
I mean, you would have to, yes, but I mean, in order to identify them, you would have to go through piles of bodies and limbs and nonsense. There were a dozen people in the hallway. There's you guys, the fellow you shot, and, shot at.
She didn't hit him.
I wouldn't be having a problem if he was dead. Okay, I'm just saying.
Speaking of which, he is, going to ask, why the fuck did you try and shoot me, you crazy bitch?
I tried to shoot you because you have an open wound. If this virus or whatever the hell it is anything similar to HIV, you're already infected. I'm sorry. I was scared.
Give me that gun, he
You're
says,
scared
and
too.
he is going to attempt an opposed strength roll against you.
Okay.
He's going to get shot by me.
You're gonna just
No,
turn around.
I'm going to hold the gun up to him and tell him to stay where he is, though.
Well, I mean, he's in the act of wrestling the gun, so this is going to transpire beforehand. And he rolls a 3.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I say you managed to maintain the gun for sure. Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah. Now are you gonna hold a gun on him?
Yep.
He says, all you fucking people are crazy.
You don't know the first of it, buddy. Get back up against that wall.
He's gonna comply. I mean, you're holding a gun at him for sure.
He just watched me shoot a woman in the face a minute ago.
Yeah.
I'm checking on Kirkman to see how he's doing.
He is shaken, but not out of sorts. I'm not sure that the full realization has really, sunk. There was, gunfire. The corridor is filled with smoke and cordite. Right, there's the flickering lights. He's breathing heavy. He's definitely not in a great spot.
Kurtman, we need to get out of here, or at least off this floor.
The elevator's going down. We have to wait for it. We don't know what's going to happen when it comes up.
Are there any stairs?
We need to clear these rooms in this hallway.
We got to go to the bridge, Kirkman says, coming to his senses. We got to get a call out. We can't handle this.
Yeah, that's what we told you.
You gotta lock down these doors if possible. Just everybody in their cabins, if they're locked out.
I don't even know where my team is. Everything's going crazy right now. We're not prepared for this. The ship isn't equipped for this.
Is your radio working?
Do you have a private line, maybe, radio frequency-wise?
Yeah, but
people that trust you?
He turns it on, right, and it's just blat blat blat. We need help. We need help. You know.
All right.
Such a good
to the
boat.
bridge. What's the quickest way to the bridge?
The elevators. We'll go through the elevators, up through the crew deck, and then up to the bridge.
Okay.
What about this guy? And I pointed the dude up against the wall.
As far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done anything wrong. He needs to be confined to quarters.
Where's your room, buddy?
If she tried to shoot him, I'm gonna need her gun.
I agree.
Sir, I know medicine.
I explicitly said that you were not to point the weapon at passengers. This fellow here is still a passenger. That was one of the conditions of getting the firearm.
And just because he's hurt does not mean he's infected. And even then, if they're infected, we don't know what that means other than they get sick. So far, we've only seen people that are dead come back. We don't know.
This isn't even a conversation right now. I'm taking the gun and we're going to the bridge.
I give it up, but I'm gonna give a look at him and just say, if I die, this is on you.
Well, then stay behind us. He is going to give 1 mag to everybody else from her weapons. You had fired, what, 2 shots? The 2 of you get a full mag and one of you gets one with 15 in it.
I'll take the 15. I've got 100.
No, I'll take a full.
Speaking of which, my God. How many of these in your pants pockets right now? Like, that's a lot of...
No,
I hope y'all are wearing belts.
Yeah, I think we grabbed...
Yeah, we grabbed
the
belts off the wall.
That's right. That's right. Okay, good. Because otherwise, y'all are sagging like motherfuckers right now. Okay. So that established, right? He is going to, sit and wait for the elevator. The elevator ride is uneventful to the bridge. You have to go past 2 secure doors to make your way to the upper deck there, which also requires some walking around the outside on the outer deck itself, the area where you would you'd lay out in the recliners and whatnot. And it is clear that the weather is taking a turn for the worse. Like the clouds that were gathering on the horizon are now looming ominously ever closer. The waves are white and choppy, and the deck lilts uneasily. It's slick with rain at this point. You combine that with the fact that I imagine it has to be 2 in the morning right now, and it is a unsettling set of circumstances. Everybody, give me a notice roll at a -2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mary?
Yep.
Bowser? You both notice what appears to be light on the horizon, a little tiny flicker of light that see it and then it goes away, and you can see it and it goes away. It is
Which direction?
it is, well, you guys are walking up the starboard side of the ship, so it's off to the right, several hundred yards out, maybe a
Wait, is
quarter
it like
mile.
ocean we're looking at, or?
Ocean. Oh yeah, it's ocean everywhere at this point. There's no land. Mm-mm.
Well, no, I just didn't know if it was like the light in the room or something. So,
No, it's out. It's out way in the water there. Yeah, barely. You see
You
little
said-
snippets of it through the storm.
I mean, should we try SOSing them? I don't know.
We
What?
don't really have anything to do that with.
I mean, you could
I don't
fire
know.
all your guns at them and they wouldn't see or hear it. I mean, it's you're in a sea at storm. You got nothing.
Did you say it's a quarter of a mile off?
Yeah, half mile, quarter mile, somewhere, and on the distance. You know, like another boat on the horizon, maybe a lighthouse. Like, but I mean, you guys are a full day sail from the coast now, so land is unlikely.
Okay.
But
Well, there's nothing we can do here in the dark at 1:30, gassed as we are.
right. Mm-mm. All right. So, no, not there. Where? I'm better prepared than this. No, I'm not. I don't even know why I lie.
Preparations for the week.
Right. Right. There's just so much. You guys make it to the bridge, and it's just Captain Romero up there, and he is his head hung low, pounds his fist against the console and says, "God damn it," as he turns around and sees you guys enter. Kirkman says, "Official immediately, I'm commandeering this ship. You're not fit to be in command. We've got to get an SOS out." Captain says, "George, man, what the fuck you think I've been trying to do? Forsyth has the whole system locked down behind some kind of password. I've been trying to send an SOS for the last 45 minutes. I've done pinnacle everything I could think of."
Why don't we? Well,
God, there's not even an old fashioned CB on this damn thing.
Any of you have any?
How about a flare gun?
A flare gun?
yeah,
Yeah.
flare something.
Yeah, you could. There's a flare gun for sure. Yeah.
There's a boat a quarter mile away from us right now.
I mean, that's something, I suppose.
We could try that, or we can take our luck with the lifeboats. But
That's
staying
another
on the ship
option
is a
too.
death
But with
sentence.
this weather, I don't know. And I mean, I'm the captain of this thing. I got a commitment to the crew, like, and to the people on board. I can't just abandon all these people. I don't think it's safe to get them out of quarters right now with those people wandering
It's
the
not
halls.
for us. I mean, this is a difficult situation. There's not going to be an easy, happy, joyful choice here.
The lights flicker and go out.
I'll turn my phone light on.
Yeah.
Like all the lights, or are there emergency?
All the lights, and then the backups kick in, and there's a dim red glow in the room.
Okay.
That's not a good sign.
What's that mean?
That means that we've lost power to systems for some reason.
How would that happen?
I have
Yeah.
no idea. I mean, there are safeguards in place to prevent this kind of thing. Something's going down in the engine room.
Well, we gotta go check it out.
Can you call engineering from here?
I can't call a damn thing with the power out, man.
Where are we? Are we heading in a certain direction right now? Are we heading back to mainland?
No, we're locked on course still for our destination. It's closer to get to the Caribbean at this point than it is the United States. I mean, it's only a day and a half out, you know? For a full day out to turn around would take even... Did you guys
How long?
hear that?
Oh man.
Automatic gunfire?
Kirkman swivels around and he says, "We don't have automatic weapons on this ship."
Is this maybe what Forsyth's guys? Do you know how Forsyth's guys are outfitted at all?
I have no. I mean, he has a couple of private security guys, but no. I mean, they should just be carrying normal pistols.
Oh, that's not
They
a normal
should.
pistol, Captain.
No. Would the Coast Guard be here? They have stuff like this?
Who would have
They
called
do.
the Coast Guard, though? I mean, I haven't been able to get comms out. He shut the whole system down. We've got-
Maybe Forsyth wanted to be the hero. Who knows?
I get the feeling
He's
whatever the power going out and this automatic weapon fire have to be related.
Yeah, it only makes sense.
We need to go
Let's
down.
light off a flare, and then we'll go down.
We need to go down to engineering.
uh
Who wants to stay here? Well, you have to stay here, he says, gesturing to Mary. It's 4 flights of stairs down to the engineering deck from here.
Oh, shit.
I think you should give her back her gun.
I think Captain Romero is armed, and that will be satisfactory. I think she has to earn her gun back at this point, regardless of the circumstances.
okay,
And if Sean,
sir,
does anybody want to stay with her?
I'll stay.
Why don't you take these flares? He gives you a flare gun with 3 flares, and fire
Okay.
them off in the direction of the lights you were talking about. You guys hang up
Okay.
here. We'll go down below to engineering, and we'll try and get to the bottom of this situation.
I understand, but there's something I need to say.
Okay?
Okay, if this is some sort of sickness, if it's a bacteria, it needs a living host. It can't grow on a dead host. So that means they would have to contract it before they die.
You're making a
Meaning
lot of assumptions, lady. We don't even know what's going on here. I mean, this could be virological. I mean, this could be some kind of temporary madness. This could be crazy food poisoning. You don't,
If
I
it's
mean,
viral, it still needs a living host.
I mean, do you know how bacteria foster? I mean, have you ever smelled a corpse? That's bacteria. I mean, like, you leap
That's
into wild
really,
assumptions.
really
Wild.
low.
I don't have time to discuss this with you. We have a serious situation going on. Please save your wild theories and speculation until we can get to the bottom of this. This is simply not the time, especially given the judgment that you've demonstrated so far this evening. All right, fellas, gear up. Let's go. We got to get to the bottom of this.
Is there any way to stay in contact with the bridge? Any radios?
I mean, we got our walkies, but I
Walkie-talkies.
mean, that, like you heard, it's just chaos on there right now.
Well, let's pick a different channel.
Yeah, I'm like, what about a different channel?
I mean, yeah, so you flip through the frequency and you get one that's isolated but intermittent. And there's no guarantee. I mean, down in the engineering room, it's paneled to prevent explosions and fires and all of that. The comms aren't going to be solid, but it's as good as we got.
All right, so
It's as good as we got.
stay on this channel.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Why don't you
Okay.
two, while you're up here, in addition to the flare, why don't you monitor the emergency broadcast? Right, it should be powered by the backup. See if you can get anything on the radio about anything. Communicate with anybody in the outside world at all. You think you can handle that?
Yeah. we
He
can
says,
handle
looking
that.
specifically at Mary. Both kind of judgmentally and trying to be inspirational and that weird, you know, like...
I'm just gonna look at him and just be like, yeah, I think I can handle that.
Great. All right, let's move. Splitting the
I'm gonna-
party.
I'm gonna stop on our way out,
Yeah.
lean into Sean and say, we saw the light off the right hand side of the boat. Launch the
Okay.
flare. Don't let anything stop you from doing that. I don't trust this
Okay.
captain. Keep an eye on him. We'll be back.
Okay. All right.
Is Sean armed?
Sean is armed. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Glock and a bat.
Glock and a bat.
Yeah.
Yep. Captain has
Cool.
Yeah.
a Glock as well. And whoever is down below is definitely automatic weapons fire. And as you guys descend the stairwell into the deepening depths of darkness, you like that alliteration, right? It becomes clear that the automatic weapon fire is indeed coming from the very bowels of the ship. The engineering deck runs nearly the entire length of it and is 900 feet long and dark in the best of circumstances. In this circumstance, with the emergency red lighting flickering in and out and the gouts of steam coming out of the hot, slick walls with condensation, right? If you touch a pipe, it burns you. This is not a place to be hanging out. And let's just emphasize that, I suppose, with you gentlemen find yourselves, in fact, in the engineering. Dim red light, steam, pipes running along the walls. It's a low ceiling and spots you have to duck, and you can hear muffled sounds of combat and gunfire happening from the far end of the ship. Kirkman says, "Keep your heads down and stick with me."
I make sure to turn my radio off.
Oh, that's an excellent call. Yeah.
You might want to turn up the Sirenscape just a smidge.
Is it just a touch quiet? I didn't want to
I-
overbear people, but yeah, let's...
Unless I've got it set
I'm
weird.
I'm not near tense enough. I'm just saying.
Right, yeah.
Well, you gotta understand this has got a lot worse.
Yeah.
Maybe, or it got a lot better.
Yeah,
And
maybe it's
we
the
got-
cavalry. I don't know why you would
Yeah.
assume that something I would throw at you would be like...
Special forces guys. Yeah.
Right, like what would even be the logic for them being here at this point, right? Like...
Well, that snake that owns the thing.
Foresight.
And what the fuck are they shooting at so much?
Yeah, how many infected are going to be down here? You know what I mean? If it started up in the infirmary, there's not a whole lot of crosstalk between the infirmary and maintenance.
Maybe they like the dark.
Hey, Kirkman, is there any way to secure, like, if we could lock these guys in this section? How would we do that?
We could close the bulkhead back up to the bridge, but if we had to beat feet, I mean, that's 20 seconds we're spending spinning that, you know, the door mechanism to get it to unlock. I don't think closing us in here would be a good idea. I think we just need to keep our heads on a swivel.
Yeah, leave an escape route. Stay low. I guess, Kirkman, you can take point. You know the layout of this place. We don't.
Barely. I've only been down here a couple of times, but yeah, I probably have a better sense of it than you do. And he definitely takes points and heads off into the darkness there, making sure to check his corners every time he turns machinery. I mean, the noise here makes it just impossible to really locate anything. The gunfire echoing off the walls, right? The bursts of steam, the thrum of the energy. It's very disconcerting as you guys make your way down, but it's clear that you are getting closer to the source of the gunfire at this point. Hey ladies, how are you guys doing? Describe to me your current situation.
You want to start?
Give us some guns to attract attention.
Well, you have a flare gun with 3 flares in it
Yeah.
and a pistol.
Yep.
Captain Romero is trying the comms over and over again and getting just fuck all, honestly. Like,
Oh,
it
great.
is not going well.
Is it just static, or is there like sometimes like there's
It's panic on the radio and just static and garbles over the airwaves. It might be the storm, right? It might be the backup power being insufficient, but yeah.
Can we hear any like words on the radio, like oh or something? I don't know. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna turn to Mary. The flare guns. Do you
Yeah.
want to do it?
Yeah, maybe, uh, Captain Romero, you seem to know your stuff about how these boats work. What are normal boats that would come this way?
I mean, we're pretty far from any established shipping lanes. If there was another boat out here, it could be another pleasure cruiser. I suppose it could be a freighter. Could be a fishing boat.
Do you have any kind of GPS or something like?
Not until we get primary power back on. I mean, we have an emergency
Okay.
transponder, but in order to even activate that, we're going to need Forsyth's code.
Oh, right.
Hey, gals. Give me
Yeah.
notice rolls at -4.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
Sup?
Somebody notices for you.
Mary, you're talking to Sean, right? And the captain, right? And you see a little tiny red dot, right? It flickers on the side of Sean's face, right?
I'm screaming, get
And
down!
goes center
And I
mass.
get-
All right, now hold on. Now let's park the bikes. Okay.
What?
I suppose there is automatic gun. You immediately know what this red dot is. You're telling me.
I have seen
You've just
so
seen
many
enough
fucking
movies.
dude.
All right. So
So many. And I wouldn't even think. I thought of shooting a dude because he may have gotten infected. Do you think I am not going to call out, get down, if I see a red dot? Just say it.
in addition to the one that you notice on Sean, right? You see 2 light up the captain, right? Dancing around center mass, right? And you turn as the exterior bulkhead door opens, and 4 gentlemen dressed in tactical black gear carrying submachine guns sweep in. And you're shouting, "Get down!"
Yes.
Yeah, they aren't displeased with that, and now you also find yourself with a red dot center mass. You hear the radio crackle over, right? And one of them says, "Bridge secure."
I'm gonna have my hands up and just be like, what the hell is going on?
We got the captain here in billions.
Yeah, I didn't get down. I just kind of, I guess, it all happened so fast that I turned toward the noise.
Now, she said, "Get down!" And all of a sudden there are 4 dudes. I mean, combat helmets, goggles,
and I
the whole.
turned toward them.
Excellent, excellent. So now that we have that established, why don't we go back down to the engineering room, huh? Isn't this fun?
Oh,
I love it
shit.
when we split the party.
Oh, fuck.
I love it when we split the party. The gunfire is clearly growing louder, and you're confident that it's got to be within 150 feet of you. You can hear muffled shouts and the occasional scream intermixed with it now. You do note, however, give me a common knowledge roll from both of you. You both have formal training. Skiba, pretty tight controlled bursts, right? Like, you're not hearing a ton of recos, right? Which leads you to assume, considering that the whole hallway and corridor is metal, that most of these shots should be finding whatever they're hitting, right? Like, but, with that, Kirkman peeks around a corner, right? And you see the sparks from 4 rounds hit the machinery behind him, and you are clearly now engaged in a gun battle. At least he is. He says, get down, right? And fires off a couple of shots from his pistol in the direction, putting his back behind the piece of heavy machinery. Guys, give me a notice roll at -4.
Ah!
Skibba, you hear the gunfire, you get low, you ready your weapon, and you hear a moan as an arm reaches around your neck and a hand clasps your shoulder, and it's suddenly apparent that you weren't the original target that the gentlemen on the far side were shooting at. So, with that, let's get Kirkman on the map. Let's get poor Skiba. I was just up. Yeah, I'm fixing it. Why are my bad guys? There they are.
Big fan.
Wow, that's a yeah. Wow. I love this map.
So,
Nice.
let me turn this down just a little because it's a little too real combat for me right now. There we go. Alright, Skiba. This thing has the drop on you, man. You critically failed. It gets a +4 to its attack roll on you. So, you know, that's rough. I'm not even gonna lie. That's rough right there.
Not even gonna make it off the boat.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not even gonna be able to do anything today.
I don't think any of us are.
Oh!
Not
Wait. Oh, yeah, even with the +4, because it's untrained in melee on it, obviously, it manages to, you go, and struggle with its head, and the teeth snap next to your ear, but do not sink into your flesh. And with that, we are going to distribute action cards and get this motherfucker started.
Which direction is the automatic gunfire from?
That way, just coming through that doorway there. You can't see a single, I mean, maybe a muzzle flash occasionally as a Rico whizzes by, but no identity on any of the targets. And certainly your foremost concern as of right now would be, not dying due to undead person. And
It's usually a
Kurtman
good idea.
says, you're gonna have to deal with them. I'll keep them suppressed. And fires off a couple of shots in the general direction of the gunfire, which seems to keep their heads down for a minute. Bowser, you see 4 infected people looming out of the steamy darkness. The red light of the interior causing kind of a mad feel to the whole scene.
Alright, so the way I read marksman is if I do 2 shots, I'll only take one of them at a -2. Is that the way you read marksman?
Well, now I'm going to have to reread marksman, obviously, because you and your gun proficiency.
The number one thing here is does not move. I haven't. fires no more than rate of fire of 1 as her first action. So that's true. It'll only be a single shot as my first action. It says I will ignore up to 2 points of penalties from called shots.
So if you factor in the -1 from the dim lighting, you are correct.
All right, so first one -1, second one. What are you thinking?
You can do it. You were just there.
Right. First one is a -1.
Yeah.
What's my second shot gonna be?
Well, so it's at your -2, right, for your multi-action penalty. And then it's dim, so it's a -3. And then if you're trying to shoot the thing in the head, right, it's a -5.
Okay. So I'm going to shoot the one closest to me in the head at a -1.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot the one on Skiba, but I'm not going to aim for anything. So that'll be a -3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Miss.
Miss the one closest to you. Shot goes ricocheting off some of the heavy machinery in there.
Well, that's no fun. Here's
That's
one
no
to
fun at all.
hopefully help you out, Skiba.
That's a
And
yikes.
I do not.
Fortunately, the trait roll was a natural 1. Alright, roll a d6 for me. Evens, you miss. Odds, she hits Skiba.
Ah.
Hey, look at that.
Stop helping! Stop helping!
Skiba, the shot, I mean, like, you feel it whiz past. It puffs your hair, you know?
I was just trying to break it up a little bit. I'm
Right,
sorry.
right. No, you
Yeah,
definitely, you
yeah.
almost broke him up a little bit, for sure. Skiba.
Save yourself.
Alright, so this guy tried to grab me around the neck.
Yep. You didn't quite make it. Yeah, you are free to punch him or shoot him point blank.
Yeah, I have my gun up and ready, so I'm going to just spin and.
Just a -1 point blank.
Alright, so I get a +1 because of my
Yes, sir.
trademark weapon, so just a straight roll.
And you hit him. Firing off the gun close range, under the chin. Hell yeah.
Do I get to roll another one because it was a headshot?
No, you add a d6 to that. Or excuse me, no, it's a d6, yeah. But it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, the shot entered the side of his neck, it takes out a big chunk of his skull, and he slumps to the floor in a heap.
Okay. And I am going to move back towards. I'm going to put my back to Romero.
Yeah, good call, good call. It's Mary Mead, but she is currently being held hostage, so... Moving on to the dead guys, because we're dealing with you in a second. And he is going to shamble-rifically. Really, it's a shambles. See what I did there, so he's going to move forward 4. Oh, but he's not going to stand on the blood pool of his buddy so that his token can be manipulated at a later point.
And since I have my gun out, I do have +1 to my parry.
That's good. Because this fellow here is going to attempt to grapple you. So, no negative there. Give me a strength roll, my friend. Ooh, Ooh, 4 and 4, but the trait roll was a natural 1. He has gotten a hold of you and is going to attempt to sink his teeth into your forearm. And misses. But you are now entangled.
This shit is the worst. Because, like, any one hit, you could die.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Like, you know, like D&D, if you get hit, oh, I lost 20 of my 80 hit points. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
This, you get bit, it's like, well, okay.
Alright, well, I mean, you can always soak.
Hopefully.
Soaked wounds do not count towards infection, so there is that. But yeah, you likely fucked, yeah, for sure. But moving on, and it should pick up a little because we just finished Critical Role, which means there are 17,000 people currently watching the RPG stream that might stumble across us with our 3 viewers.
Hey.
Hell yeah! All right,
I
moving
think we have
on.
more than 3.
Do we? Oh, I don't. It's not updating for me then.
Unless they're dropping off and I'm not seeing them.
Oh yeah, well then my Twitch app is all jacked up. Let's see here. Let me unjackulate. Oh, 10 viewers. Hell yeah. So, combat is transpiring. They have missed their bite attack. You are entangled though, which means you're distracted, which gives you that -1 to them trait rolls. And it also means that this guy here doesn't have to roll to grapple you because you are tied up. He is just going to walk up and attempt to bite you with his gang up bonus at this point. Oh, it's so glad they're not wild cards sometimes. So glad. Snap, 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 the teeth go. And nothing transpires. Next round, oh! And it's Bowser with the Joker, meaning everybody participating in the combat.
Yeah.
Being Skibba and Bowser, I'm afraid. Nah, you guys are in a narrative combat that's they're gonna kill these guys real quick. And I'm not gonna tell you who's going to kill who, because, you know, that would give away the fun. But, Bowser,
Do I also get a +2 like the other?
yeah, but it automatically factors in, so you don't gotta...
Alright, well in that case, the one who is free to eat Mr. Skibba, I'm going to shoot in the head.
Roger.
At a -1, right?
Roger.
And this time I'm going to hit him.
Looking for a 4. That is most definitely better than a 4, and you strike him in the head.
That damage.
Oh yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A bullet enters the side of the neck and seems to take out the cerebellum. It loses all motor function, convulses, and falls to the ground quite dead. And for real this time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Excellent shooting. Excellent shooting. Skibba, I'm gonna need that strength roll.
Come on, buddy.
Ooh. Let's see what Shambler does.
Does he get entangled also?
He does, yes. And so, you have succeeded in shoving him off. And can shoot or attack for a map penalty, a multi-action. If you want to click that 2 action button, you can fire a round right into him right there.
Do it.
Of course, it'll still be the -1 for the headshot, given your weapon bonuses in the point-blank range.
I do want the headshot.
So -3, I think it'll be total on the shot. But you just need to hit 2 action and -1. And it'll do the math for us, because Fantasy Grounds is lovely and we're lazy.
So just put it in as -1.
-1 and then hit the 1 action button until it says 2 actions, then roll them dice.
Yay. Come on.
Ah! -5. My God.
What?
What
You
on
took a
earth?
-4 because you're entangled.
Oh, let me remove the entangle. That's my fault. I'm silly. All right, give me it again there. -5.
Okay.
Like what?
Big money, big money, big money. Come on.
Come on,
School.
you can do it.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
That was beautiful. Oh,
Hit
man.
with the raise. You shoot
Big
him.
Mike.
Bullet enters the cheek. Let's get that damage. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Exits the top of the head.
That's right. No, this one does this magic bullet thing. Rattles off the back of the skull, goes down through the torso, plinks into the deck. But at any rate, it's another dead,
Pinball.
infected fellow.
Hey.
Kurtman looks over his shoulder, sees that you guys have it handled, and is going to fire off some more suppressing fire down the hall. The amount of gunfire coming from the other side is reduced. Where it sounded like there were 3 or 4 automatic weapons going off right now, there is just 1 or 2. And give me notice rolls at -2.
It's so far away.
Yikes. Bowser, you don't notice a goddamn thing. Skibba, you hear the sound of combat boots retreating on metal plating. Whoever it is seems to be falling back.
Maybe they weren't expecting to be fired back on.
I let him know. Sounds like they're running off. But I
Yeah.
still got one right here in front of me.
That you do. And he is going to finish his progress forward. And let's get that opposed strength roll. Oh, he failed terribly, so unless you crit fail.
I do not.
You do not crit fail. You roll a 9 on a d6, so you shove him to the ground, and he finds himself prone. Which will leave him vulnerable. Next, and hopefully final round, Mike Bowser.
So him being prone, he's harder to hit from range.
Yeah, vulnerable to attack. Yeah, harder to hit from range. But
And there
vulnerable in
are-
melee.
There are still bullets flying through this doorway,
Yes.
and I stay right where I'm at, and I'll yell over, "Stomp on his head!" And that's it.
Excellent.
I will reload. That's what I'll do.
That's a good call there. Excellent. Tactical reload. I don't know why you're reloading a revolver. I mean, you're clearly carrying a 9mm pistol. This is ludicrous. But Kurtman is going to fire off another couple of shots and say they're falling back. You guys got that?
Yeah.
And Skibba, you do in fact have it. In fact, if you just want to reach your gun down, put it on the top of that thing's head and fire one off, that's a no penalty. It is lying on the ground. I mean, you could literally stick it right into its eye socket.
Then absolutely, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Did it not roll?
It did not roll. There we go. Excellent.
I was
Yeah.
getting blood splatter.
Vulnerable, close combat range, hit with a raise.
Now you just gotta beat its toughness.
Right? Well, that's, I
Say
think,
you did.
yeah, the 3 wounds.
I
mean,
yeah.
There isn't even a head left at the end of that. It's just a ragged mass of flesh that the skin seemed to contain the skull from bursting, but not in something that resembles a skull anymore at all. And they are now deceased, and you are in.
I thought you were dead for sure, Mike.
Oh my god.
When the one had you grappled and the other one approached, I was like, "Oh, it's over." I'm gonna have to explain to the
Right?
ladies when I get back up there.
We didn't even see him coming.
So whoever was doing all the firing has moved on. Give me a investigation.
Yep, because I have that as a skill.
Wow.
Nice.
Trained, yeah. Nice.
Untrained even.
Oh shit, I hit it.
Yeah, you
Didn't even
both
know.
hit it.
Yeah. The off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is, as you guys progress carefully and quietly through the dim light of the doorway, there is one dead guy dressed in all black gear, dozens and dozens of shell casings, and only two of the infected back here. Tons of blood splattered all over the walls. Nice groupings of dents, you know. They clearly were firing center mass on when they were first encountered, right? And it took them a minute to acclimate to their tactics, in which they lost a dude.
And the infected are right on him, or he's just like we're on him and nobody else is around.
But they're just bodies at that point. There's a couple of infected bodies in this corridor right here.
I'm checking for head wounds. Are they? Do they have?
Both of the infected appear to be damaged in the head, in addition to quite a few rounds in their. I mean, 20 in one, 15 in the other.
What about the
guy.
or the guy in black?
He is not wounded in the head.
I'm going to hold my gun against his head and pull his helmet off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he alive?
No.
And
he
I'm
is
going
currently
to put
quite
his helmet
deceased.
on.
But he has no head wound?
No head wound. Nope.
That I put my gun up to his right between his eyes and pull the trigger.
Yeah, alright. Well, drop a round then for me. And, yeah. Nobody questions it at this point. Yeah, you are wearing combat armor. That, gives you, 2 armor to your head. Congratulations.
Sweet.
What kind? Any weapons on this guy? Yeah.
It looks like he has a pistol on his side. It's a Beretta as opposed to a Glock, but it looks like they snatched his gun as they left.
How about a knife? Checking his boot for boot knife. Any kind of
survival knife. Some parachute cord.
I'll tuck the Beretta in my belt if Skiva doesn't want it.
Roger.
I do not. But I absolutely want the survival knife.
Beretta takes 12. He has a backup mag for it.
The paracord, any kind of equipment I can grab off this guy is what I want.
Yeah.
Is he wearing a bulletproof vest?
He is, yeah. And it does not appear to have taken a round. Although it is soaked in blood.
Yeah, don't care. I want the vest. I feel naked without the fucking vest.
Yeah, man. +2 to armor center mass.
So am I making up an item or
yeah, we can take care of that here. Let's see here. I know we got it. Armor.
Well, the Kevlar helmet is a +4 then.
Is it +4? Really? Oh, I was misquoting it there. Yeah. Congratulations, you have +4.
Awesome.
Reduces bullet damage by 4. Mind you, a couple of bullets, right? Especially on that vest. Yeah. Anybody that understands a bulletproof vest understands that it's a bulletproof vest until the very second it's eaten a bullet, right? And then it's a maybe bulletproof vest.
Then it's a heavy outerwear.
Also should be noted that just because you're wearing a bulletproof vest or a helmet does not mean that you will not maintain a concussion or some broken ribs and some bruising, depending on the caliber of the weapon that hits you. So, despite the fact that you may not take a wound, right, there are bumps and bruises, fatigue levels, there are all kinds of notice roll effects. So let's not get cocky, kids. But, on that note, oh boy. Gals, these guys have given you not a half second to reach for anything. I mean, you are definitely covered by some professional fellows. And there is an older gentleman, silver hair, flat top, weathered face, right, high and tight, right, that is having a conversation in hushed tones with the captain.
Does it look like they know each other?
No. No, it's clearly not a polite conversation that's happening right now. Give me a notice roll, both of you.
Okay. Any negatives or just
Nope,
normal?
just flat, straight up notice. They're keeping their voices low, but I imagine you would be very interested to hear what the fuck was
I'm
going on.
interested.
Right, yeah.
So
Oh.
interested.
Very.
So, you can't make out all of it, but it seems as though Captain Romero is accusing him of causing the situation. And whoever the fellow is has... I have no fucking clue. I've just lost 3 of my guys. Right, they seem to be at odds over who's responsible for what, but neither seems to be currently taking responsibility.
Okay.
Skibba and Bowser, give me notice rolls. Mary, go ahead.
Dude, I don't want to interrupt because I don't want to get shot.
Right.
But I kind of want to wait until like they've settled their thing to see if they want to ask us questions, and then I
Yeah.
really want to try and like do everything I can to.
So, if you
Get them
recall,
on my side.
you do have a walkie-talkie, right? That you could... Now, does anybody here know Morse code?
No.
No? Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Does anybody here know SOS, you know?
No.
Really? What if you guys are like fucking
What?
trapped on... I mean, SOS though? Damn, you all
It's like-
fucked.
No.
Alright, never mind. You all
Yeah, I
died.
know. This is why I'm playing. I know.
Everybody's
I'm just waiting
dead.
to die.
Wow.
Everyone's gonna die.
I
This
slept through
is
that
about
class.
as real life. Who?
So,
no.
You
I would
could...
probably be the only one that would if anyone did, and I don't remember it.
You could give me a stealth roll. It's dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I mean, really, like, it's the classic SOS. I mean, that's... My god.
Is it 3 long, 3 short, 3 long?
Dee-dee-dee-dee,
remember.
dee-dee-dee-dee. At any rate, if you want to give me a stealth roll, you can try and open the channel on the walkie-talkie they gave you to broadcast what is going on to the people that went to engineering.
I'm not so.
Well, of course
I
you're
turned-
not.
By the way, just for that,
Of
I
course you
turned
turned
my radio off.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because we were trying to sneak
We
through.
don't know that.
now, have you maintained your radio off now that your gunfight's over and all that, and you seem to have
No,
dealt with this?
not now that it is done and we have cleared engineering. It would probably go back on.
Excellent. Excellent. So, I need to see that stealth roll.
How's your stealth shot? Oh wait, you don't know Morse code.
Well, no, all you're doing at this point is just reaching down and opening the channel so that you're broadcasting what's going on in this room to them.
Okay.
I think actively hitting the squelch button would be too obvious.
Well, yeah. I have a D4 in stealth, and I have a Benny.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to roll it, and then you have to spend the Benny to see if you can re-roll it. We don't add D6s here. There are no fate chips.
No, I know that. I'm trying to decide if I would actually take that kind of a risk or not.
Oh, yeah, if they notice you, by the way, you are going to get a rifle butt across the side of your face, for sure. Yeah.
I'm not doing that shit. No,
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So you're not going to give them any advance notification. You as a person would say, fuck that, they're going to shoot me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I am around them, and I know, like, as we get to know each other, like, I will totally lay my life on the line. But right now, with, like, so many guns trained on me, like, I know I would not dare try it.
Look at how many people in the chat know SOS on the Morse code. These people should be playing. When we kill you, we
They
need to get some of
Googled
these
it.
people
They
in.
Googled.
Whatever. No, they Googled it. Y'all in the chat, y'all all googled it. Don't lie.
Hey,
It's 3 short, 3 long. It's the most well-known.
It really,
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
I just had it backwards, so it was.
Yeah.
I would have said OSO. You know,
Mhm.
you'd still get the
Right,
idea.
right. No, I mean, if you play it enough, it's still SOS, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so you guys get notice rolls, right? That and what you notice is that you've gotten no radio communications.
All right. Is this room cleared? Like,
I mean, you can only see like 15 feet, dim light, steam, all that. But yeah, you don't hear anything moving around. It appears to just be equipment at this point.
all right. I go. Is Kirkman up there with us? Because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
where do we need to go to get the electricity back on?
I mean, another 150 feet to the main breaker panel is the only thing I can think of.
Okay. I'm gonna radio to Captain Romero and let him know that we ran into some armed soldiers of some sort, an armed
The
team in engineering.
radio on the bridge squelches to life, and several guns immediately point at it. And the silver-haired fellow says, "Answer it." That's good to hear. Be careful down there. We're being careful up here. Report back when you've got the power on.
10-4.
And we don't notice that he sounds like that.
I don't know. Why don't you give me notice rolls?
Mic off.
Like this.
I think he's just nervous and scared about
Mic on.
the whole damn
Yeah,
situation.
there's something in his voice. Give me 1 second here.
Mic off.
Well, he wasn't all that nervous when we were up there.
Mic on.
Mic back on. All right. So, do you confer this to Kirkman?
Yeah. I mean, he's standing there with us, and it's like, did that sound normal to you?
That did not sound normal, he says.
Do you think they've taken the bridge?
We should prepare for anything.
All right, electricity first.
When you guys make your way to the panel, it looks like somebody took a fire axe to the main connection points. It's just, I mean, you guys can give me an engineering or repair roll to see if you can
No, I
make
can't. No.
hide or hair of it, but
No.
Bowser, come on.
How about
Oh,
electronics?
Yeah.
yeah,
Or repair. I can do
repair. Your repair
Hey.
skill shows you that this is FUBAR, dude.
So helpful.
It would take, well, I mean, get a raise, you might have been able to do something, but on a straight success, all you know is that it's useless with your current tools, and whoever did it did a number on it.
Okay.
The ship is not going to have main systems again.
So I look over at Kirkland. What does that mean for the ship? Is it,
We got to evacuate. We've got to get all these people off of here.
is it still going to be moving? Are the engines running, or?
Yeah, the engines are still running for now. I mean, we still have basic helm control, but I mean, we've lost everything else. And we only have helm control because it's a literal giant rudder, you know?
Then how did these people? So we got to figure out how these people got on the boat and how to get off. What do we have options for getting off the boat?
Ladies, Captain Romero peeks up and he says, "There are 2 more of them down there with my head of security right now," to the fellow with the white hair.
Oh.
I like how Sean's, for 3 episodes, has been like this, except for that one time she kicked a dude into a coma.
Yeah.
Alright?
That.
So, he
I don't know what
turns
to
to
do.
you two.
It's quiet.
The fellow with the high and tight silver hair, clearly the one in charge of these black-clad gentlemen, and says, "What are your friends' names?"
That's easy.
This is gonna sound ridiculous, but they're both named Mike. Literally. One's a deputy. One, I don't know what he is.
Right. You all know me.
But they don't mean harm.
Well,
They're
then-
in this mess just like all of us are.
You tell them to come up these stairs, up from engineering, with
Yes.
their hands up, and nobody gets hurt.
Okay. Do I know if he's bullshitting?
I'm not sure that you would even be able to roll on that on this, but you don't know this guy from Adam. I'm just not sure. You can give me a notice roll at a -3. I mean, he is pretty much just barking orders. He's not giving inflection or.
I wanna. Like, are there any of his minions like around me? Like,
Nope. Like I'm too worried.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up like very like gingerly, like reach over, like showing where my hands are the entire time. Pick it up and say, Mike,
Go ahead.
we've got friends up here. They wish that you would come out with your hands out up the stairs, and we are complying with them.
Copy.
Give me
And then
flat notice rolls, Sean and Mary. Mary, you hear the storm and the wind, but also beneath it, moaning.
I'm gonna tell them, guys, we've got company. They are infected.
They are ignoring you pretty much at this point. I mean, you know, they're not looking for advice from the lady in the wheelchair. You know, they are going to disregard your sentiment altogether. In fact, which will mean that.
hey, Will, wait. Is there a fella or a guy like close to me?
A couple
Like,
of
I
feet
just
away
wanna
from you.
try
Yeah.
and just kind of like just casually try and strike up a conversation, like, so who are you guys, kind of thing.
Shut the fuck up and sit down.
Just trying to be nice. Yes, sir. All right.
I want to watch our exits, and
Yeah, give me another notice roll.
okay.
Just Mary.
Yep, just Mary.
Okay.
Nat 1.
Ooh, fuck.
So let's share this bad boy here.
Fucking smirk. Ah, Will, don't smirk.
No.
You guys,
Nice.
like, honestly,
Guard.
you just read way too much into this.
Yeah, as you're
As
like,
I pull
oh,
up
you're
a
all
map.
gonna die today. No.
I never said you were going to die. I merely heavily implied it.
See, I feel like sometime after we're heavily paranoid, he's just gonna pull up a map and nothing's gonna happen. Just
I almost did last week.
like
I'm not gonna
literally,
lie.
just to fuck with us.
So,
Ah,
get you guys on the map here. Have you guys sitting there on the map right
Nope,
here.
nope.
Okay, but this is like a protected site, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's better than I thought it was. So, I can handle that.
So half the team has gone on patrol, and there are the 3 gentlemen and the general there for some reason isn't in the shipping counter. But
What are
weapon.
those
Mic
two
off.
dads
Don't forget
right
Cap.
there?
Don't forget the captain.
That like
Captain
box area. What is that? Can you see my arrow?
I think that's the controls.
Oh. You will your sounds out.
Mic on.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Alright.
Yes.
This
Hello.
headset, I swear to God. Yeah, it's navigations, controls, some instrument
Okay.
panels. All of it dim right now, red light in here, of course. You guys can see through
Gotcha.
the windows in the front that the storm has definitely picked up at this point. In fact, it is so distracting that neither of you notice that the lightning flashes for just a second. Oh, because of course it does. Yes, it does.
Nope.
It always does.
And there is a figure behind the paramilitary soldier in the door, right? Give me notice rolls, both of you.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Mary,
Yeah.
this fellow is clearly dead, right? Has a giant gaping wound on his neck, you know, the black, the blood shows up black in the flash of the light and the contrast, right?
Yeah. And it's not one of the suited up.
No, this is just a random passenger. The thing that you notice that's different, though, is that this one is sitting there grinning.
Nope. Nope.
I'm gonna say infected, and I'm gonna point.
You make it halfway through the second infected, and both of its arms burst through the window, right? And grab the guy and just inhuman strength tear him out through he screams out into the night, and with a flash he's gone. The other 2 guys spin their guns on the scene right as the Mikes and Kirkman come up.
We were gonna do that.
Yeah, well, Kirkman is, well, I guess Kirkman comes up. I'm assuming you guys are going to follow him?
I'm going to take the Beretta that I picked up,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to put it somewhere under the staircase where if we are to go back down that staircase, I know where it is and I can grab it.
100%. 100%. So,
and I will slowly follow
you
Mike
guys
if he's going up.
are headed up the stairs. You're on the flight below the door, right here, right? The flight of the stairs when you hear the glass break and the guy scream, and just a couple of da-da-da, you know, of the gun going off as he's hauled through the window into the night. And, that causes Kirkman to spring into the room, right, revealing himself, and everybody engages then in a Mexican standoff, right? They're shocked. Dude just went out the window. They had their guns drawn there. Kirkman comes out, gun drawn. Everybody all at once, fucking drop it, you fucking drop it. Down on the ground.
There are intelligent ones.
I don't know what's going on here.
Intelligent
Hide
soldiers.
under there is what.
Infected.
Are you guys gonna
Do we-
sweep into the room with him?
Yeah, I'll stand shoulder to
I'm
shoulder.
gonna hide under
I'm
the
gonna stay
control
right at
area.
that doorway
Right at the doorway, that makes sense.
where I can definitely hear what's going on, even if I can't see it.
Skibba, give me a notice roll. you see a, I don't know, maybe 9, 10-year-old girl with pigtails standing outside the other door, her head
Oh, is
just
it that
tilted.
bitch? Is that bitch? Is it that bitch?
Don't do it, Sakura. Don't
Shoot
approach
her in the
it.
face.
Standing
Shoot her
right
in the
outside
face.
this door here, flash a light, head tilted.
I'm looking at the military soldier as like, who are you guys with?
Actually, Skibbon, now that you have laid eyes on one, why don't you give me a common knowledge roll? Yeah, you recognize the insignia on their uniform. They belong to Nicotero Services. It is a fairly renowned paramilitary organization. They've been involved in some questionable conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. Had some dealings in Syria that got them in the newspaper.
Sort of
So
like
mercenaries.
Mercenaries,
yeah.
yes. The second you make,
I do not notice. I do not tell him that there's somebody coming up behind him.
that's great because you don't have to, because the figure, right, grabs the bottom of the window frame in the door, right, and leaps through it, shattering the glass with its head, and in one fell movement is on the guy's back. Like, he is screaming, right? There is pandemonium in the room, and we are going to enter a little bit of combat. If I can
I
figure out
swear to
which
God,
sounds
if
that I want to use for
Kirkman
this.
doesn't give me a fucking gun.
You tried to kill a
I'm
dude.
seriously,
He
I'll just give
has
you my
the
hand.
most. I would take your gun. I would take your gun in that situation. I would say, Mary, I'm sorry. I know you're confined to a wheelchair. You tried to kill a human being. I'm sorry. Here's a pen. It's mightier than the sword. I don't even know. I mean, you tried to murk that dude. You straight up.
Yep.
But
Now is the time to kill human beings.
Yeah.
So guys, everybody, give me a notice roll. As the girl is on his back and he is struggling, you see him pull a grenade from his vest, right? Kirkman goes, no! His commander goes, no! The captain goes, no! And he pulls the pin.
I go no.
As he gets bit in the neck, he collapses to the floor with the girl on his back, the grenade buried under his body. Folks, what's going to happen here is we are going to add the grenade to the initiative order. When the grenade goes off, it goes off in a medium burst template. Now, a medium burst template, for those of you not in the know, is the entire size of this deck. This whole bridge is going to get blown to shit, right? Anybody that finds themselves within the confines of the bridge when the grenade goes off is going to take 3d6 damage. Anybody that merely makes it to just outside the exteriors here and here from the concussive wave and shrapnel will take 1d6 points of damage, right? I should remind everybody now that we are using the grisly wounds, right? If you take a piece of grenade shrapnel, right, it's gonna bug you for a while, right? So, let's not take wounds.
Question.
Yes.
Is there any kind of way to take cover or
So, like frag
partial
grenades
cover?
in movies, right? Like, it's a puff of smoke, and people, 5 feet away, they go, ah, and they fall over, right? Fragmentation grenade in real life, right? It's what, 30 yards is the lethal radius? I mean, it is ludicrous. That shrapnel and the concussive wave, first off, within inside this room, it's gonna liquefy you, right? Anybody within the confines of this
Okay.
room, right?
I'm
You're
ready
just,
in.
No.
poof, right? That's it. And then the little pieces of metal, the glass from the windows, right? The fragments coming off the consoles. This whole thing is just going to turn into just a maelstrom of steel. Right now,
Shit.
there is the fact that the guy's body is currently on top of the grenade, right? So, I'm going to give you guys, if you can't make it out of the rule, we'll say 50-50 odds of only taking 1d6 because he happened to eat all the shrapnel that was headed in your general vicinity. But the number one goal here is going to be to get the fuck out the room. Another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is, boy, that little girl and that creepy guy, they had some friends, don't they? The only current viable exit is down the stairwell from whence you came back to the engineering level and subdecks.
Okay.
Meaning
Give me
that
this.
Mary and Sean will have to make it all the way over there. Paramilitary guys are clearly going to turn and start firing, right? Well, the two that are left. Yeah, we will actually call this the general guy now, because this is the grenade here, and he didn't spawn in the combat tracker for some reason. So, let's get the grenade in the initiative order, shall we?
Thank God I've practiced how to go downstairs. I'm just saying in my wheelchair.
Alright,
Thank
well,
the Lord.
I'm afraid there are still going to be some circumstances there, because I imagine rushing down 3 flights of stairs in a wheelchair is going to be a very difficult task. Even with assistance, you said it weighs 60 pounds, right? You gotta weigh 160 pounds. There are, metal stairs, not graded for any of this. Catwalks, it's a rough scenario. It's a rough scenario for people that can run, frankly.
Yeah.
So,
So is this like a dramatic task?
yes, this will be a
Okay.
dramatic task. Which means all of you are participating. There are 4 of you here. I need 3 successes from everybody in here for a total of 12 successes to make your way to the exit and not get exploded, right? That'll transpire.
And can it be a combination at all? Like let's say like I get 2 and then like Mike gets 4. Will that make it?
Yeah, no, it's not personal successes. We're just looking for, you guys each want a success every round. We're gonna call this, I don't. Grenade goes in the initiative step. You know what? That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna put the grenade in the initiative step, and I am going to roll a d6, right? On the first round, right, it is going to be detonating on a 1. On the second round, it'll detonate on a 1 or 2. And on the third round, it'll detonate on a 1, 2, or 3, right? So I don't even know how many rounds you guys have to make the successes, but we will knock it down to 6 successes total to escape the room, right? So, back to grenade in initiative step. Let me get a token for grenade here, because I totally, who doesn't have a grenade token prepared? That would be foolish. They knew there was going to be a grenade here. They were actually hoping we would get to grenade last week. Alright.
What is this room that I am in?
You are in a stairwell, right? Emergency exit light. It's got that, the latticed metal catwalk floor, right? It's clearly not meant for passengers. It's a service stairwell, right?
So I'm in the best place then.
You're in the best place. The way you would contribute to this, right, is by helping Mary, right? By assisting people, getting the fuck out the way, maybe covering fire if some of these guys make it into the room, right? But the grenade has now been added to the combat tracker. So we are going to get our initiative cards here. Action cards. Ooh, alright.
First
up, we have paramilitary soldier, right? paramilitary soldier is, well, let's see here. No, he is definitely going to advance and fire a controlled burst at the gal on top of his buddy who just sat on the grenade there.
Mary, this is the worst round to roll a low initiative.
I know.
Oh yeah, he opens up full auto. Several of the rounds catch her mid-torso and follow the track up. MP5 is no joke. Yeah, and she staggers for a second, the grim wiped off her face, collapses into a heap, and she dead. Again. Next up, second paramilitary soldier, gonna rush out the door after his buddy and scream.
Seems like a tactical choice.
Skibba. Maybe he had a different plan, and then something else confronted him upon.
Right.
And I saw where the grenade went under the body, right?
No, are you fucking kidding me, Skibba? Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Fucking martyr. God damn it.
Are you fucking kidding me right now, Skibba? No, you didn't. No, you give me a notice roll, shit.
Fucking martyr.
He's gonna go help the little girl.
No, I'll save you. Yes, you clearly. Yeah, the grenade's under that dude right now. Who gouts of blood are now coming out of his neck. He's gurgling, trying to fumble with a little, but
Oh, he's still alive.
yeah, no, he got torn into, but it's not for long. One way or another.
All right.
And going for that grenade right now wouldn't contribute to the group success upon a failure at all. At all.
Gotcha. And I can see that zombie that's straight ahead on the other side.
This fellow here?
Yes.
Yeah,
The general.
through the door. Half
All right,
cover because the door is there. The girl went through the window that covers the top half of the door, so you can only see him from the waist up, but that's all you need.
The best
All right. Ladies, get to the stairs, and I'm going to kind of cover myself on this table and shoot at the zombie across the way.
Why don't you give me a persuasion roll?
Hey, there you go.
That's pretty persuasive.
Ladies, you will get a +1 to any action that helps you, and we will count that as one success so far this round for escaping that grenade. Of course, it could still blow up this round because you have a 1 in 6 chance. But
I also have the command edge, so they should add a extras
right.
and command add +1 to their spirit rolls when in tucked or recover from being shaken.
They're gonna be shaking all over the walls here in a second.
They're about to be. Yeah, we're about to spray everybody's perks. We're gonna need a whole new cast next week. We're gonna get everybody all caught up.
I'm going for the lifeboats.
Kirkman is going to use knowledge.
Do I need?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Do I need to take my shot at the guy across the?
Oh,
way?
if you're shooting him, yeah, for sure. Shot careens off into the night.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to do a cold shot.
Kirkman's going to use his law enforcement knowledge. And he is going to get a success for the group, right? And say, we have got to get out of here within 3 rounds.
He's so specific.
And
Thank you for that.
he's not a shitty dude, so he is going to move forward to make sure that the ladies could possibly exfil should there be some zombie itch in the interim. Bowser?
So from where I'm standing, I'm just waving them in. Girls, come on,
Persuasion? And you know what? Yeah, do it with a +2. You don't have to be very. Hurry the fuck up is, I mean, right?
Right.
All right. Handily.
And then I am going to duck down a couple stairs in case,
3
people
successes.
need to run
Sean,
down.
in your case, a success will be in agility or athletics.
Okay.
In fact, give me a run roll is what I need from you.
Is there running?
Yeah,
It's-
so go
it's
to
a
your
skill.
character sheet, and then
Yeah.
you'll see pace with a little die next to it. Roll that.
Oh
Double click
yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
You can move
Cool.
6 squares this round,
Okay.
and that is
Also,
a success.
Okay. Could I jump over that control panel?
I would
Like
need a
parkour.
Parkour.
I mean an acrobatics roll.
Athletics.
Athletics at a -1.
Wait, but what about Skiba and his like pep talk?
Oh well, in that case, flat athletics. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a
shit.
yikes. Your foot
Okay.
catches, and it is going to reduce your run die by half. So on the other side of this, you can now move
Shit.
3 squares.
Okay, so like I'm right there.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, wait, 2, 3. All right. I'm over.
Guess whose turn it is, guys?
Shit.
It's the
Please
grenades.
roll it. Please roll it.
Mary's.
Fuck.
Anything but a 1.
Anything but a
Right?
1 this first time, yep. Oh, look at that, a 6. I love this so much.
I hate Russian roulette.
Right.
I hate this.
This infected fellow slowly opens the door. And you can see the flash of moonlight on his teeth as he advances towards this fellow. Not at all, out of sorts, with a confidence, right? Clearly glowering. And, is going to, straight up bite him. Or not. Because he misses the parry. Well, he hits the parry, all that. Anyhow, moving on. Oh, Sean.
My turn again?
No, I'm afraid.
No. Oh, fuck.
No, the one from outside the other corridor, the smiling gentleman from at first, is back. The only difference is this time, there's fresh red blood and little pieces of meat hanging from his mouth, and his arms are red to both the forearms.
Nope.
He is going to give you intimidating smile. So I am going to need a spirit roll from you, opposed by his intimidation.
With a +1, right? From
Yep.
Is that with Skiba's commanding?
Yep.
Okay.
He rolled a 5.
Come on, Sean.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
No!
Trait roll was a natural 1, Sean. I'm afraid I'm gonna need you to roll on the fear table for me.
God damn it!
Isn't this the second time around? with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for one with a preternatural
Sorry,
intelligence.
hit that twice. Vulnerable.
You gain the hesitant hindrance for the remainder of the round, but guess what, Sean?
I'm already hesitant.
You have the hesitant hindrance, so you know what that means? That you're panicked instead.
Oh shit. Really? That's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. God damn it.
So for the next 4 turns, the only course of action you can do
God.
is run directly away from this fellow. Which is good,
That's
So
good.
does that mean
That's
like
good,
he's
yes.
here? I have to
but her runs no longer contribute 2 successes because it is a forced action. So you are going to flee, hopefully, towards Skiba and Bowser, right? And a
Yeah.
raw, terror-filled panic. But,
Adrenaline, yes.
yeah, adrenaline. But we'll see. We will see. Mary.
Oh, shit.
Will is a dirty dude.
Yeah, little shit.
All right. Pace. Gotta see how far I can go. And the way I see it is each direction is shit. I either
Yeah.
go right next to the grenade, or I try and make it between Sean.
Let's get that run die, Mary.
Alrighty.
Kirkman's there to help
Oh,
you.
big money, big money, big
Kirkman
money.
is there to help you, and the soldiers are certainly have bigger fish to fry at this point. Oh, wow.
Six?
Excellent. You can move
There you
6
go.
paces.
Did
The
you do the
ship
+1
tilts
though?
a little bit
No,
if the wheel.
I didn't.
Yeah, because
Well, you don't get the run die
Skip
is
is kept up.
unmodified by anything.
Oh. Okay.
And Kirkman's there to help.
He'll probably help you.
Kirkman will likely assist you if he sees you being menaced. Yes. There's not a whole shit ton he
Okay.
can do if that grenade goes off while you're wheeling past it, but yeah.
Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6,
Sure.
and then as far as what I want to contribute,
Well, I mean, succeeding on the run die was your contribution. That counts as a success. Well, we need 2 more.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm just thinking of what I would do next.
I'm
Probably go.
waving you to the door. Come on.
That's what I would be doing, person.
I would not do
Yeah.
that. That's a waste of energy. I would not do that.
I would be screaming like a 8-year-old girl. Are you fucking kidding? There's no. I'd be firing random shots off at everything that moved, just screaming.
I'm gonna pull a Joe and shit my pants, right?
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Lord.
Well, you literally are. You're panicking right now, so you pretty much have.
I'm gonna make sure that I still have my baton, right? Because I'm gonna make sure that's cinched to my wrist and just
Yep. Ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Yeah, the voluntary poop your pants roll for sure. Go skid mark dog it. Oh, that's another campaign. All right.
See it on Wednesdays.
See it on Wednesday nights. That's right. Oh, there's plenty more.
See Joe's shitter pants again.
With all new pants.
Sean, give me a run die.
Alright, I can do that. Oh,
yeah.
shit.
There you go. You
Proper panic.
burst out the room past them. But your success does not. Oh, but wait. You know what I'm gonna need?
Yep.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Lack of opportunity.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person that doesn't have friends because I do stuff like this to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would say hold your turn and I'll shoot
Question
him.
my friendship.
You're panicked. So.
Right, yeah, there ain't no turn holding.
There's no, yeah.
I'll shoot him after he kills you, Sean.
Oh yeah, and I have to apply panics to you because that's a whole modifier deal. And
You're gonna go down with the ship, but I will make sure he gets his first. Right in his smiley face.
right.
Fuck face, yeah.
Sean's my buddy. I can't.
Don't get bit, Sean.
Oh shit. Fucking damn it. Nope.
You're grappled.
And bit. But does it pierce your flesh?
No. No.
Oh dear.
Oh shit.
Sean,
Benny.
you need to blow a Benny to soak.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Now, for those that don't know, she is spending one of her Benny chips to attempt to soak a wound, so you will right click. Let me see here. I can probably just. No, it won't let me do that. I gotta do it off your character sheet. Oh, this is tense though. Huh.
I don't like it.
I
So-
don't like it.
Poop
Go
your
ahead.
pants so you're slick.
Give me a vigor roll, Sean.
Come on, you gotta do this.
This is
Do I
brave.
get another
Do
plus
this.
1 because of the skip as command? No.
No, not.
That's
it's okay.
mainly for
Spirit.
shaken.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a spirit roll.
Come on.
Shoo, fuck.
Oh.
The teeth clench down on the side of your neck and pull the skin away. Saliva and gore from the previous victim,
fuck.
causing them not to take purchase in your neck, and you barely escape.
So she didn't get bit.
fuck.
I'm just.
Oh, she got
I'm
bit.
freaking out.
She did not get her skin.
But it didn't break the skin.
No.
It's not.
Although
like
you might
I
want to
need
just shoot her. Just
I was gonna
You
say,
know.
good thing Mary don't have a gun.
right. No
Jesus.
shit.
So.
Jesus Christ.
Not to catch one in the stomach.
Sean, you have now officially escaped the
Yeah.
room and are on the
Okay.
platform behind the fellows there. That's the closest we've had
Goddamn.
to a player death. Yeah, that was the
Okay.
first Benny to
Holy
soak. And
That
she literally
scared the shit out of me.
She
got
hit it.
just what she needed. Just a 4. Any lower than that and we would have had our first cat. Look at her over
And so
there.
she wasn't grappled, right?
No,
Looks like
she's
it-
vulnerable because she's panicked. That's what's going on. No, he didn't grapple her. Actually, give me a notice roll.
Who? Me?
Everyone.
Anybody? Okay.
Air buddy.
These
Oh,
ones
Shit, Bowser.
have much more physical dexterity and seem to be
acrobats.
able to just bite, like a normal person could. I wouldn't have to wrap you up to get my teeth in you,
No.
So,
I
yeah,
don't
now,
have my Dalek suit.
now these guys aren't,
Control Z my life.
I don't want to
Jeez.
give you the impression
Yes.
that these fellows are super agile, because they move
Whatever they are.
just like normal people, but they got their wits about them, right? They, I mean, they're planning, they're thinking,
Very smart
they
ones.
seem to have a sinister human-like intellect that has not been exhibited by any of the previous ones. But with Sean no longer affected, paramilitary soldier is going to take game with his HK MP5 and miss. Black couple of shots just ringing out, shattering the window behind him.
Too bad that grenade's gonna go off. I could use those.
Paramilitary soldier. Well, neither of these guys noticed that.
Oh.
Well, I guess this one did actually, because he shouted. You know what? It doesn't matter. Cannon, none of them noticed. Fuck it.
Did Kirkman notice?
Kirkman has noticed, and that's why he's in there trying to evacuate everybody.
Okay, cool.
This fellow here firing off his shot. Oh yeah, look at that. Just point blank range. Controlled burst, center mass again, same thing. Muzzle climbs through the shots up through the neck and face, dealing 1 billion points of damage. Well, 2d6. But 1 billion points of damage. Plugging him twice through the gray tissue, more than sufficient.
Nice. Whew.
Mike Bowser.
Now the only one in danger really is Mary at this point.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
in grave danger. If you think you're not going to take 1d6 right there. Y'all tripping.
And
thought about
Sean
the
has
steroid.
run past you, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's on the landing
I'm
I'm
behind
like
you.
halfway to Minnesota by now.
Oh,
I'm gone.
I would not travel by myself down this particular set of stairs, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on.
So I'm going to shoot that dude in the head.
The one that tried to eat Sean.
Yeah, with no
Yep.
negative.
Yep.
In the grape. Let's see. Get
Yes.
wrecked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hit with a
Fuck that
raise.
mofo.
right above the ear, just behind the temple, in one side, out the other. No longer smiling.
And now I'm going to run down the stairs.
How far?
Just my normal pace. I think
Alright,
it's
like one level.
yeah.
Tink, 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 tink. Excellent.
And grab the Beretta on my way.
Of
Why
course.
not?
He's gonna sit there and watch. Mary, I'm gonna need a spirit roll opposed by his intimidation.
Hey, that's actually, I have strong will.
And he rolled a 1, so
Self-confidence is a powerful armor against those who attempt to attack this individual's will. I get +2 to the total.
well, he rolled a 1, so you succeeded. So he is not going to do
Well, unless you
anything.
really fail.
Yeah, never mind. I keep forgetting.
I mean, I was
Crit
gonna
failed.
say
Let's get the dice. Give me some snake eyes, because that means it's permanent too if she gets snake eyes.
And so that's 4.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, you just had to
Oh,
beat
wait,
his opposed
yeah,
roll.
smarts and
so.
spirit are the same exact rolls, so.
So you are fine. You are not intimidated by this fellow. You've seen enough of it tonight.
I've
Bergman,
been through some shit, man.
Does my
Vince-
shooting roll count as a success for a thing? Or
well,
just the things that we're doing?
yeah.
It's a pretty good shot.
I'll
though.
say you guys need one more success.
Okay.
Kirkman is going to fire at the fellow on the other side of the glass there. And miss on account of that. -2 trait roll. +1. Nobody's really... Ooh, Mary was so close to being lined up there. Skibba.
I'm going to try to run and get behind Mary's chair and push it towards the door.
Alright, give me a run roll. So you have 6 total to move. It'll take you 3 to get to her, and pushing her chair, you get half back. So you can move, like 1 square forward there. Yeah, well, let's not be 2. You guys in your 1.5 square is 2 squares. I see
Just
you
do a
guys.
strength roll and push her as far as you can.
Hey guys, guess whose turn it is?
That's
Oh,
not a good
jeez.
idea. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Nope.
1 or
So
a
this is
2.
a 1 or 2.
No.
Yep. Oh, 3.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I can't.
I love this shit so much.
Come on, Mary. Get out of there. Come on.
I
Get
don't
out of there,
know.
guys.
Mary.
Some bitch. Okay. Pew out the fucking door. I am terrified of stairs, but I'm more scared of death. So,
I'll catch you at the landing.
Yikes.
so there. I'll probably run. Roll that.
Can she drag me with her?
For 4. Yeah, can I drag him? Because I don't want to leave him behind. He
You
just
cannot.
I mean,
his neck out for me.
I have a hold of her wheelchair and
Well, and that, no, I mean, yeah, you know how this works, guys. I mean, you have
You gave her a
pushed her
boost.
at this
Yep.
point, and she is almost through the door.
Alright.
Yay! Everybody gonna die. Next round, hey, who knows? Maybe the grenade will get a joker. Oh no, Sean does.
No,
But
I
Sean,
get a Joker.
Yes! Come
Sean.
on.
you got 2 more
get
rounds.
ready.
Yeah, well, now hold on. Now you get
I'm
-1,
sorry, I'm really
Benny.
excited.
So everybody gets a Benny.
Mhm.
Sean, give me a running roll for how you're going down the stairs.
It's.
You got 2 more
I'm
rounds of panic, I'm
skilled.
afraid.
Oh shit. Oh,
No,
nice.
your pace roll.
Hey.
Pace roll.
Oh, pace.
Yep.
I was like, what? Okay. Still.
There you go. 8 is going to get you down halfway past the first landing. You're sprinting down the stairs. There are 3 levels.
Okay, but I wanna try. I wanna help Mary. Like I don't know
No,
how
you're
you
not.
can
You
lift your.
are panicked.
No. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid that you are. I mean, that dude tried to eat your face and nearly did.
Yeah.
So you got 2 more rounds of that. I'm afraid of just running away from this, unless somebody wants to physically restrain you, which is always a possibility.
I'll
No.
shoot her in the knee.
But you're so far gone.
Ah, this isn't Wednesday.
Don't be that guy in Walking Dead.
Oh, look at
Don't
that.
be
The grenade
guy.
goes
We're not
last,
there
though.
yet.
Who's that guy?
God.
Yeah.
So
Shane is who I like.
Shane.
Really, you know.
I connect with Shane too much
Yeah.
at times.
you guys
but
have
We need-
exfiltrated the room. I am going to need an athletics roll from everybody. Mary, I am going to need yours as a -2. I am so sorry.
Can I pull the door shut? I wanted to be the last one out. Can I pull the door shut on
Uh,
so the military guys can't get out?
you definitely can.
alright, I got a 0. I want to spend a Benny.
Yeah. Because you
With
all are
that-
falling down currently in a heap.
Nope, that was worse.
Hmm.
Straight roll is a natural 1. So.
Well, guys, what a coinkydink we find ourselves in here. Sean has run down the landing behind, but as Mary comes through the door, you all become tripped up and tumble in a mad heap, head over heel, down this first flight of stairs, right onto the first landing. Everybody will take a level of bumps and bruises from this, which is fatigue, right? Which will stack onto your already prevalent
Can you
fatigue.
just click it on our.
Yeah, you can
There we
just
go.
take a fatigue point each.
Yeah.
Sean, you're not fatigued because you're not in the hump, and you all are prone on the first landing, right? Unable to get the door closed behind you due to the terrible, just terrible dice. When, Mr. Grenade goes off. And I had a Mr. Grenade. Oh, you know what? It helps if I'm in the right week.
Sound like a jet.
Yeah, I was like, take off.
It was a magnificent explosion, actually rumbling throughout the close metal confines of the concussive wave would have knocked you all prone had it not already. You hear the pink, pink, pink of shrapnel hit the wall above you,
Yeah.
right? The warm rush of air, the smell of cordite, everything is smoky, and I need a vigor roll from Mary, Mike, and Bowser. Well, Mary and the Mikes. Hmm.
What a good doo-wop get band.
Mary and the
Mary and the
Mikes.
mics.
I'll spend a Benny to redo that.
Can I spend a Benny on this?
You can. Yep.
Okay, because I. Yeah.
Everybody's using a Benny. Give me them Bennies.
One more Benny. Or can you use multiple Bennies?
Yeah, you can give me all of them if you want, man. The only thing you can
No.
only roll once is vigor for wounds. Well, and this is kind of that, but
There
all
we
right,
go.
There you go.
excellent. You guys are discombobulated. Can't hear a goddamn thing, right? But in the time it takes you to look yourselves over, you have some scratches, deep cut here or there, nothing life-threatening, and nothing incapacitating. But any notice rolls depending on sound for the rest of the evening happen at a -2. Big concussive wave.
Can
And
I get back up to shut that door?
you can, but before we do that, we are going to take a much delayed 5-minute break. And before we do that, hey guys, if you like what you've been seeing, say follow us, right? Hit that subscribe button. Check out the Discord. We're recruiting new players for this one. I killed these guys. It's fantastic. We're doing 4 shows a week. And boy, we just appreciate all your support for being here. And you could show it to us with a follow or a subscription as well. But please stick around. We will be back in a short few minutes to conclude this evening's session where I didn't manage to kill anybody with a fucking grenade, though. Come on, with a grenade.
You had automatic weapons,
This
smart
girl.
zombies, and a grenade. And we're
Alright.
all
Yeah.
still.
We'll be back. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. If you will recall, oh no, that's not the one. This is the one. Less panting. That's the one when they're grabbed by zombies, you see. Uh, yeah, no, it's just disorienting chaos. It takes, I don't know, almost 30 seconds for you guys to, start to stumble up and recollect yourselves. So we have both the mics and Mary in a stairwell. Sean, give me another spirit roll. The thing just exploded. You might be able to shake out of it. Not have to sprint down another level of
Come
stairs.
on, Sean.
Nice.
There you go.
Yay.
You pull it together. Only a half landing down. You turn around and you notice they are in a heap. As your guys'
There's anybody there?
Huh? We can hear you. Well, we could hear you for just a second, and then you disappeared. Uh-oh.
He's froze.
Tech
Camera's frozen.
issues every night.
Hmm.
But, it's clear the deck's gone. The whole bridge is... And the storm is just now starting to reach its zenith. All the control mechanisms, the comm station, everything is just a mangled hunk of metal. Kirkman limps his way up the stairs and says, we can't steer the ship anymore. We're fucked, man.
We're not fucked. We're still alive. That means we can still move.
How do you know what to do?
Try. Keep moving. We can't stay still.
Well, now you're down on a landing below here. And still, I think probably recovering from the 10-foot fall. But it is excellent advice. I mean,
Yeah, the biggest
There you
thing
are.
about me, I guess, is you have 2 seconds to freak out, make sure everything's fine, and then you have to move, because any more than that and you're gonna lose it. So that has been my main thing, is like, you have 2 seconds, now get moving.
We've got to find a backup place to get people. Damn, Thunder. Give me a second here. That one's not playing around.
Storms are right over us.
Yes, it is, apparently. There we go. That should be a little better. Was not that loud when I was testing it earlier, but...
Kirkman, we need to figure out a way out for us as well. I want to be a hero, but if... And how many hours has it been since the outbreak? Like 12?
Not even, no. 4, 5?
Yeah, like...
Happened at dinner. Yeah, now it's like 3 in the morning.
Like...
Look, we can try, but we gotta figure out a way out. I promise you I can help.
We should
I
find a place to sleep.
I mean, that's definitely the priority. We need to find some place where we can hunker down and get some rest.
Yeah. Kitchen? Is there any kind of locking doors? Staff room? I don't know.
I mean, we could go to the crew deck. It's a little more secure than the hospitality decks generally, but I mean, we could go to the security suite corridor. It's down, it's the second deck above engineering.
And engineering's the very bottom?
The, white-haired fellow that was leading the group of paramilitary guys starts coughing. Slowly picking himself up.
What about Captain Romero? Is he dead?
He dead.
So Wait,
Aw.
like he didn't get out at all?
Nope.
Oh.
How close are we
Whoa.
to the guy that's picking
Oh.
himself up?
He's right there. I imagine you guys have just now entered the wreckage that is the
All right, is
remnants
this
of this.
I
The
look for
infected
any of
is
the
dead.
submachine guns on the ground.
Yeah, there appears to be one in working order, within reach for sure.
Is the roof blown off?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, is it raining?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm not going in there. I'm gonna stay where it's dry.
Hey, Mike, do you know how to use the submachine gun? I don't got any training on it, so.
The Heckler and Koch MP5 Navy has about half a mag in it.
That's fine. We have plenty of 9mm.
Yep.
Yes, I do, Mike.
I go help the paramilitary guy up.
And I accompany you and take his gun.
Yeah, yeah.
Shoot.
He had a deagle.
Yeah. We're not doing this random guy is armed thing.
What? In fact, well, it's just him for now. Yeah.
Does he have a
Kirkman,
grenade?
Kirkman walks up
Does-
and punches him square in the mouth. Doesn't even give him a chance. Just boom, decks him, sends him over the console into a heap. And looks like he's gonna proceed to start kicking the dude. Are you guys gonna intervene?
I
Oh,
intervene.
I am because he's caught
Well,
all the fucking
now-
tail black.
Mary, landing at the stairs below again.
Yes.
10 feet down the landing. How are
Yes.
you getting back in your chair and then
Yeah,
back
the
up
questions.
the stairs if you're in the room?
I probably wouldn't get up in my chair. I'd scoot up the stairs on
Yeah,
my butt.
you're just scooting up the stairs on your butt.
Yep.
Why don't you give me a D8? On a 1, your chair is broken.
Dude, come on.
There were like 4 people that landed on it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's fine.
Hey, look at that. No,
Oh,
it's in
nice.
perfect working order.
It's tip top.
But will need to be navigated down another landing to either that corridor, people will have
Yeah.
to drag it back up to the bridge. There is no sign of any of the grinning fellows or any other infected.
God.
Are you going to stop Kirkman? Mary, how are you going to do that while scooting up the stairs on your butt?
I'm gonna yell at him. I thought we couldn't kill people that are alive.
Kick. Kick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I stop him. I get my hands on his shoulder, like, dude, stop. We need this guy.
Give me a
He's gonna
persuasion
break.
roll. Add a -2.
And oh no, this is I want to use my command voice.
All right.
I
Give me an intimidate roll.
don't have intimidate. Damn it.
You don't, and I believe you're mild-mannered. Maybe the persuade voice.
I had -2.
No.
I mean, he is
Damn it.
not interested. I mean, he is clearly, like, on the verge of snapping. He's just kicking this dude. You're going to have to physically, like, pull him off.
Does this guy have a frag grenade on him as well?
No.
Okay. I'm good then.
All right. Contested strength, I guess.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
you need to stop right now.
Oof. Man, he's going to kick this guy to death. Jesus. I thought you guys were going to be able to stop this.
I'm not interested in stopping it.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be either, frankly.
Fuck this guy.
He rolled a
Really
6
guy.
tier 1, Mike. He
Here.
shoves you off and continues kicking the guy.
Curtin, we have got to go.
Can I pull his leg down?
And
How fast can you scoot your butt across a gore-slicked floor covered with dead people, little
I
bits
don't
of
know.
shrapnel,
Do I need
small
to try
panel
pulling
fires?
something? I don't know.
I mean, so
If you're not gonna let me, that's fine. But I'm. Just
I'm not
saying,
trying to
like,
question your abilities as a wheelchair-bound person, Mary, but there has been a lot of miraculous tumbling and fantastical. I mean, I'm not sure. I'll let you give me a paste die and we'll cut it in half.
Okay. Yeah. So
You
I'm.
can scoot 2.
Yeah. So probably after going up the 2 stairs, I'm just gonna look and be like, uh, sitting there on the stairs, watching this guy who told me I was out of line, and him physically beating the shit out of someone.
Now,
And I'm gonna say,
let's park the bikes and walk for just a second here,
yes.
right? You fired at a dude dressed in civilian clothes because he had a scratch on his arm. This
Because
fellow
I thought it was
and
a
is
bloodborne illness.
okay. Let's park the bikes and walk again, right? This fellow was commanding a paramilitary organization that just disabled the ship after having drawn down on a bunch of innocent civilians. Now, let's compare these scenarios here, right? Now, I understand that
And killed his captain.
and killed his captain. So you had a guy that had his arm wounded, right? And he's kicking the shit out of a guy that nearly killed everybody and disabled the ship. Now, show of hands.
Okay.
Who thinks these things are equal? Yeah, no, this is definitely
Nope,
more
that's fine.
justified. Yeah.
That's fine.
But he is going to stop on his own accord, seeming to come to his senses. No, he turns around once more and gives him just a solid one right in the gut. Picks the guy up, drops him. He coughs up. There's a little bit of blood. Kirkman says that feels better. We got to get this guy to
Good.
the brig.
Good man, Kirkman.
Yes, we do. Does his outfit? Do we still have a working radio on him? How is his?
Yeah, no, he's got the paramilitary fellow definitely still seems to have his comms in order. Cartman goes to check his comms, and it looked like the thing actually saved his life because there is a piece of shrapnel embedded deep within his radio.
Ugh. All right, I take the bad guy's comms away.
Yeah, it's an earpiece combo. Yeah.
Does he have a helmet just like?
No, he was the
Mr.
leader, so of
Gotham?
course he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Okay.
You know, he had the badass, TV commander thing going on. No, he
Right.
just has a
And
pair
you-
of Ray-Ban wraparounds, like.
All right. Any other guns in here before we leave this?
He
bridge?
has the deagle. I mean, everything else up here got proper fucked. There's just mangled bits of everything.
Gotcha. All right.
I have
Does
the
he-
deagle, but I don't think anyone wants to use it.
No, you definitely do not. No. No,
Do
give
they have
Mary
any
the deagle. Fuck it.
Right?
Is a
Boom!
deagle a pistol?
A deagle is a 50 caliber hand cannon.
It kicks like a
The
mother.
fuck?
I have never fired a
it-
50 caliber handgun, but I have fired a 50 caliber rifle, and I can tell you that there is absolutely no reason for that to be contained within a handgun. It is ludicrous. It is just big dick energy. I mean, you can't
It's
hit anything,
expensive.
and it's
The
yeah,
damn
it's,
ammo is expensive for the thing. So every time you shoot, you're like spending $5. It's like
literally,
stupid.
literally like $8 a shot. Yeah.
Mm.
But it'll punch a hole in something like that. So there's that. But this guy isn't carrying it because it's a practical sidearm. He's carrying it because it's a symbol of authority, right? Like, he's got the biggest handgun, clearly, because this isn't, it's not standard issue. Nobody hands those out because they are ridiculous. Again, completely impractical.
All right, I'm checking his pouches to see if he has any zip ties.
No, nothing like that. He does seem to have a little toggle thing. It's got a switch that flips up. It's got a button that presses.
Oh, son of a
Buttons.
bitch!
Take
He's
that.
got detonators. Yep, taking it away.
He's
yeah, we
regaining.
searched him.
He's
for
regaining
weapons.
consciousness. Yeah, no, you've
All
got
right,
him
on
at this
your-
point.
Yeah, on your feet, soldier. Let's go. You got some explaining to do.
Ooh, are we gonna do torture?
He coughs and spits out something that rattles against the floor. It's a tooth.
All right, I've got him in an armbar.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna
yeah. No, he's
escort
not.
him out.
I mean, he's not really in a condition to be doing a ton of resisting at this point. You know, I mean, he was in the room when the grenade went off. Only survived due to the location of the console. Right, totally disoriented. Gets stood back up, weary and shit, and then has that guy wail on him. Kirkman just beats the shit out of him for like 20 seconds. Yeah. So I don't think you have to worry a ton about him resisting. That being said, I wouldn't, I wouldn't go out of my
Oh,
way to, not keep my eyes on him.
I know how to escort. I am very clear on any movement he makes to try to pull away from my arm. He goes to the ground.
He, just goes, Corporal Savini.
Don't give a shit. Let's go.
Corporal Bowser. Nice to meet you.
He, is, taken down the hallway. So, you guys, for the sake of things, we're gonna say that the elevator is still functioning in one particular spot, central, right?
That's
And,
good.
you guys do not encounter, any infected on your way down there. What you do encounter, though, is, bloody walls, chunks of meat, people that are clearly fleeing in a panic occasionally, little isolated pockets in one or two. And that all comes to a stop when you make it to the crew level, which has no blood and seems completely deserted, and are led to a secondary security room.
Kirkman, we need to hit the kitchen and get on a lifeboat.
Give me 1 second to set up this map here, because I thought I had grids on, but I didn't prepare.
And as we're on our way there, I'm going to give Mary that Beretta and show her where the safety is.
Yeah. Oh boy.
She deserves to have a gun.
in your estimation, I wouldn't give her a gun, but do you do
She's
this
never
in
shot
front
at
of
me.
everybody?
No, just as we're standing there, I'll just kind of...
You're gonna do it stealth-like?
I'll just kind of set it in front of her so she knows.
Give me a stealth roll opposed by Skibba and Sean's notice. So both of you notice him give Mary the gun.
I don't say anything.
Fine with that. Excellent. Excellent, Mary. You are armed again.
Okay.
Lord help us.
I'm just gonna give a nod of might, just as a thankful look of like, wow, someone's treating me like a human. This is great.
Right?
You know, like after being told like no so many times by this Kirkman guy, she's very downtrodden. She's very upset. Where I'm very upset, and she just this makes me feel like more of the team. So
I would rather you shoot an innocent person and live than die because you're unarmed. You know?
Well, now, and that is the kind of morality that'll make you guys survivors, honestly.
exactly.
I mean,
And I'm gonna die.
yeah, you
And
Skibba, I
there
can't
may be a
believe you're
point-
still alive.
There may be a point where I'm on the ground and she'll remember this time and hopefully not shoot me. shoot
Yeah.
the attacker. You know?
I'll be honest. Like anyone that does like an act of kindness like that, like I will bend over backwards to help them. Like
I came for you
That
and
is
pushed the
my
wheelchair. Just say
yes, and I will help you too. I will 100%.
So, You guys find yourselves in a secure conference room in the second security area. The fellow, who has introduced himself as Corporal Savini, and that's all he'll say, is in a cell.
Drogo. Sorry.
Remember that time I shoved you down the steps?
Literally.
Aw.
Sorry. Sorry, Will. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. No, I wasn't. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the situation on the ship is deteriorating at a rapid pace. Let's take a catalog of everything that is wrong currently, right? The captain's
Yeah.
dead. The bridge is
Yeah.
blown up. There is a paramilitary organization running around with automatic weapons to some purpose that is yet to have been ascertained. There's no power. There's no communications. What appears to be a hurricane is looming on the horizon. The dead are coming back to life and eating people, and you all are fucking exhausted. So, 8 seems like enough for now. What are you doing?
Making sure that this room cannot be entered,
Yeah.
whatever
So,
means necessary.
it has a secure keycard lock, but with the power down, the electronic lock is disengaged as a security precaution.
What about on the armory?
It is the same. The armory is the same, but it's just 9mm in there. It's the ship's armory, so.
Okay. So the point is we are attempting to finally rest. Is that the plan?
I mean, I'm not dictating that. I would
Yeah.
try and get some hours of Z's, but that's
We
just
need
me.
to.
We'll set a watch.
Yeah.
I'm. God, dude, you put me on first watch. I'm gonna pass the fuck out. Is there
I'll
anything
go
I can do with the? Is there anything I can do with the paracord that would jimmy the lock or just to where it cannot open?
I mean, you could tie it off so that there would be a gap there, right? But any relatively intelligent person with a knife or something could get through. Would it stop one of these shamblers? For sure, yeah.
And that's what I'm doing with the paracord.
All right. Fantastic. You wrap it around the handle, get it looped under one of the legs of the bench right here. That is bolted to the ground because y'all are on a cruise ship. And it manages to mount the door open to about 6-8 inches, you know?
Okay. I'm gonna check Sean bites because I saw her
Yeah.
get bitten earlier.
She has some deep bruises in the shape of teeth on her neck, but the skin was not broken. Looks
Okay.
like she had one hell of a makeout sesh, but
And Sean, it
It
looked
was
like you were muted.
non-consensual too.
no.
Oh, there you go.
Was there any chairs that we can use to like jam up against under the door, too, to aid kind of what
Bolted
Skiba's put up?
to the ground, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that is sufficient, but it will be a shitty and brief night's sleep. You guys will manage to cultivate 6 hours on the uncomfortable floor in this location. I will need everybody to give me a vigor roll.
You know how good it would feel to sleep after this long of a day?
I know it.
I know, like we need some pluses to our these.
I'm afraid not.
We all nailed it.
Everybody but Bowser recovers their level of fatigue throughout the night.
Oh wait, did
Why?
he?
Why do I
He
know?
rolled
Wait.
Wait.
stealth.
Oh, sorry, that
Wait,
was
where?
stealth. Yeah, no, vigor. Never mind.
Sorry.
Everybody, despite the sheer exhaustion, I was looking at the die roll above it.
Bigger for you.
Uh,
Bigger for you.
Everybody,
Bigger for you.
I mean, you fall into a heap and you pass out for 6 hours. And are awoken by Kirkman having fiddled with his radio apparently at some point in the night and managed to establish comms with another security team.
Okay.
Not quite another ship, but that'll help maybe.
No, just another pocket of security dudes that have managed to survive and coalesce in another locale.
What's their
And-
location? Have
There
we
are 4
been able
of
to
them
figure out?
apparently, and they are going to
Uh-huh.
attempt to make their way to the security room.
And I
Mhm.
checked the radio for the Mercenaries. Is there anything happening on it?
The earpiece is squelching. There is something going on, but it does not make sense. Magenta 5, Magenta 5. Magenta 5, Magenta 5. Copy. Magenta 5, copy. We need your 20.
Hey, Corporal Savini.
He, is lying down on the cot in there. Not responding.
Good times.
Just shoot him from the bars. Don't mess with him. We've all seen this movie, Mike. Just shoot him.
I cannot.
I know.
He
Will not.
sits up in the cot and he says, "Well, it seems like you folks got yourselves in a bunch of trouble."
We didn't get ourselves in shit.
I was here for a cruise. Damn it.
You picked a hell of a ship.
You think we would have chosen? Really? Do you think I would have chosen?
I don't think you have a say now, lady.
I think you should shut your mouth before I beat the shit out of you.
She's got spirit. I'll give her that.
What the hell are you guys doing here? What do you want from us?
It was Forsyth, right? He has something to do with this.
Who do you work for?
I'm just a fellow that gets paid to do a job, lady. I don't ask for particulars.
Then what's the job?
What's the job?
Paid you.
We were supposed to come out here and disable this ship. That's all I know.
Oh, congratulations.
Why?
Good fucking job on that one.
Man, we do shit all the time, man. Rich people collecting insurance. How the fuck should I know why I wanted it disabled? We were supposed to put 7 holes below the water line and then fucking make sure that the people could evacuate because the steerage would fill, the ship would lilt, right? And then easy peasy. That's all I know.
Did you put the holes in the bottom of the ship?
No, pretty sure that's what this trigger in my hand does.
Unless it's been used already.
I think we would have known that.
Oh yeah.
Would have heard it.
Explosion.
Felt it.
Small one you wouldn't.
Right now.
Well, and I mean, it could be thermite. It could be any number of things. You wouldn't hear thermite at all.
Yeah, and you wouldn't feel it right away either.
No, ship would just slowly start to list is all.
Yep.
He's not answering, though.
Alright, first chance I get, I want to throw this damn trigger overboard.
How did you get on the ship, Corporal?
Fuck it, he's stuck in the cell. Let's just leave him.
I think you folks might need me more than you realize.
No.
Enlighten us. A turncoat like you?
Apparently you don't know anything, so therefore you can't help us.
Now, hold on now. Let's not just whip out our dicks and start flapping them straight away. I got a handful of men on this ship still that are highly trained professional operatives. We didn't come on this motherfucker to get ate by some crazy people. We came on here to do a job. And that job has been seriously compromised, and I am starting to think that my 100 grand is not going to facilitate the replacement of some of my good friends that I have lost on this foobar fucking mission. But what I can offer you is a modicum of a chance to survive. You give me my radio, I talk to my boys, we all get out of here on the very same ship we used to get on here. I'll take you with me.
What about the rest of the people on this ship?
Man,
There's
fuck the rest of the
2,000.
people on this ship. Have you
That's
not
what I
seen?
thought.
This is a
I'm
one-time
with
offer,
him
my
on this one,
friend.
Mike.
I'm gonna give a look at Mike because I feel like we're kind of on the same page on this situation.
Yeah, I feel really bad for those people.
I do too, but yeah, no, yeah.
It's a me first kind of world, you know?
We need to at least get people to the light. Oh, fuck, there's a fucking hurricane. They can't get out on the boats.
We sent up
No.
the flares, we tried the radio. If we get
We did
off the
everything we
ship,
could.
if we get off
Did
the
we send
ship,
the
we
flares?
contact.
Nobody said.
No.
You didn't send the
No.
flares, Sean. I told you.
We did
before I
not
went
send
down-
off the flares, no.
I was ready.
I don't-
I was gonna do it, and those guys came in. You didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
a chance.
Should've shot
Shit.
one
Oh,
of
I
them
love
We
this
were
shit
in
so
there
much.
for maybe 10 minutes and we were trained with sniper rifles. They literally had dots on us.
It's true. It's true.
Fair enough.
I would have done it.
So because of
But-
this son of a bitch in a cell, you didn't set off a flare for that other ship.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the
Basically.
other ship was his ship. What good would it have done, you know?
That's what I'm getting the feeling that it was.
They were already here when we saw that. Then when you guys saw the ship, right?
They weren't
what,
far
were just
off.
So,
We were
are you
only
supposed to
gone 10
disable
minutes.
the ship, or are you supposed
Maybe
to
we
sink
can
the ship?
go.
We were supposed to sink the ship.
Yeah, guys, they were supposed to kill us.
No. We were supposed to do it in such a way as to preserve the lives of the crew. We were supposed to dress as civilians to exfil, man. How the fuck do you think we were going to get off the boat?
Is he telling... Can I make a roll to figure out...
Ooh, what would this be? Yeah, go ahead. Give me a, notice roll. Good luck, though. Well, I'll be damned. Never mind.
And get rid of your fatigue, Mary.
I mean, so yeah, you can get rid of your fatigue.
Sorry,
And,
how do I do that?
oh, it's on your character sheet. I'll take care of it here.
Okay.
Yeah, why would he... Alright, so let's just assume here that this fellow was hired to sink this ship so some rich guy could collect some insurance information, right? Let's assume he's telling the truth, right? And now he's found himself down 4, 6 guys that he knows personally on what was supposed to be a cakewalk run, right? Surrounded by a bunch of crazy fuckers ripping people through windows and eating them, right? He knows that he still has a handful of boys on the ship somewhere, and that they are literally his best chance of getting out of here, right? He's at your guys' mercy currently on account of the currently on account of the cell and unarmed situation, right? So I'm not sure he has a lot of cards to be playing with. Like he strikes you as though he's being on the level. He will help you guys get off the ship, and Kirkman seems to concur, especially since I don't know if you guys notice, but somebody has found the roped open door. It sounds like several somebodies, in fact.
Is it like zombie sounds? Or,
Do-
infected?
Do you not? Is this not?
Mic off.
I
It's
can
very
hear
Mic on.
Oh.
I just hear noise. I can't tell what it is.
your heavy breathing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's me, sorry.
There we go. Now I hear.
So, that aside, since the door is currently holding, just tell me one thing, Corporal. You come on the ship. Plan is to sink it slowly, evacuate all the civilians, and evacuate yourself the same way. Why are you and your men armed to the teeth? Why do you have frag grenades? Why do you have submachine guns?
I mean,
Why
shit can always go sideways. We're militants, man. Well, you think I come out here in my weekend warrior gear without my strap?
I think if your plan was to exfil as a civilian, you would be in civilian clothing, and you would not have fully automatic submachine guns.
Yeah, no,
that
let
are
me just
very
go
hard
run
to
back
tuck.
to my duffel that we stored right before the shit hit the fan and getting my civvies for you. I mean, would that make this a little more...
Mike, I think we should leave him here, dude.
Kirkman, you need to radio your people and let them know that this hallway seems to be filled with the dead.
Kirkman isn't listening to you because he is staring transfixed at the doorway as it swings against the rope with strange taunt. There are at least a dozen bodies on the other side of the door at this point, pressing against it, and you can see that the paracord is starting to fray. Savini says, "You folks might want to consider giving me a gun," as the cord snaps and the door swings open. And that's this week.
I knew it. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for staying with us this evening as we attempt to
Skibba
kill all of our players. I was so close tonight, almost twice. I almost killed 2 of them. It is my life's mission here on Friday evenings to utterly destroy their hopes and dreams and prove that I am, in fact, the real monster. But that was us this week. Next week, we'll have them dealing with dozens of infected pouring into a room with only one exit,
Right.
which is dozens of infected filled. So please stick around for that. If you liked what you saw this evening, please consider hitting that follow button. Please subscribe. We appreciate every little bit you do. If you've already done that and feel like you want to do more but don't want to give us money, you could just share this show all over the place. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Talk about us on the water cooler. Just all that stuff, really. Word of mouth helps just as much, if not more, than money. But that will be the conclusion this evening. From the League of Gentlemen Explorers to y'all, may your dice always roll hot and just have a fantastic weekend. Cheers, guys.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, somehow. My God.